Vision, purpose, and values. Our vision is to help every young person identify and develop their unique talents and dedicate them to the Lord's service. We envision a world where never again must a young person live an aimless life. We see a time when all young people know their true purpose and lead meaningful lives in the Lord's service. What do you think of that? And we have our values. Who would like to do our values for us today?
I could.
Thank you, brother.
Sacrificing. We take up our cross by stepping out of our comfort zone for Christ. Faithful. We are faithful in that which is least, so that we can be faithful also in much. Intentional. We lead purposeful and intentional lives by having a definite aim. Improvement. Something better is our watchword. Leadership development. We give others the opportunities we wish we had when we were in their situation. Finish the work we start. We develop leaders who can take up the work of spreading the gospel wherever they are. We are geared to set and take actionable steps towards our goals. Communication. Communication is key and a vital part of our ministry.
Amen. Deborah, would you want to do our mission?
Sure. Our mission is to inspire and rightly train an army of youth to dedicate their lives to Christ's service and engage in the finishing work of redemption before the soon coming of Jesus.
Amen. Amen. So the agenda for this meeting will be to set our quarterly goals for this next quarter. This is our second quarter of the annual one. So we're going to be looking at our annual just to make sure we're staying on focus, to pull out the key things to move the ministry forward for the next quarter. Okay. So we have 2B it says our annual aims. Our annual aims is for Conran to lead the ministry to implement all 3 books in the Secret Trilogy by December 2021. Tina will lead the ministry to optimize the marketing funnel of the Direction from God value letter by December 2021. And as we're reading these, we need to be thinking, what are the 3 of these that we need to really focus on in order to move the ministry forward out of these 5? Not that we can't work on all 5 at the same time, but which one is the ones that we really are pressed to do. So be thinking of that as we're reading these. Enoch will lead the squad leaders in rightly training an army of 1,000 gospel soldiers mobilized for service by December 2021. Rebecca Lizabata will lead the team to sew 100 pieces of free content a day by using Content Fries app by the end of 2021. Diana to optimize an onboarding volunteer system as measured by 60% of the volunteers be serving and active in the ministry by December 2021. What am I doing to get us there? Okay, so step 3 is analyze prior quarter and review. This is really important. We need to go ahead and open up the quarterly meeting for 6. Is that what? No. There was one on there. I saw it.
Wait, hold on a second.
Sure. There should be a link though that.
Should we give the 1 to 10 on these?
Of being completed? Do we need to do that?
Confidence?
Let me see.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we
what
do
it
need to
is.
do that? Okay.
Because this is quarterly, this is our confidence in reaching our annual.
Okay, so on the quarterly, we need to do the 1 through 10? Is that what you're saying? Or on the
Yes.
on the annual aims?
On the annual aims, that's the only ones we have right now.
Okay, so on the annual aims, do we need to go back and say 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Conran, what would you give yourself on number 1? Annual aims.
We can say 7.
7? Okay. And you got a little over 6. You got 9 months left.
9 months. That's
Yeah,
3
9
months
months.
per book.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Tina, are you with us? I don't know if she is or not. So where do we think we're at with to lead the ministry to optimize the marketing funnel by the DFC value ladder? Do we think we'll be able to accomplish that by within 9 months? Where do we think we're at on that? Does anybody know?
We're making progress.
Okay.
Let's put an 8 there.
8? Okay. I think we might be able to finish in 9 months. Okay. And then Enoch, the squads?
It'd be nice to have a measurement for that. How we know when they're optimized. The squads, I think we're at 65, and we're a quarter of the way in. There can be exponential growth.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I think
There will be.
I think we'll make it a 10.
Good. And the Leaves of Autumn, 100 pieces of free content a day. Where does anybody know where we're at on that? And do you think we're going to be, what would you say that would be?
By the end of the year?
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be a 10 myself. I don't know what we're doing to get there, but she's really engaged lately.
Whoa, 911. Can we come back to that?
Mm-hmm. And then Diana, optimize your onboarding thing. I believe it'll be a 10. I worked on that a lot, and I think we're doing good progress. But I still need to I'm still setting up tables. So as soon as I can ask you something. Is everything okay, Enoch?
Well, I found out that we had 23 pieces of content this week. So
that's a quarter of the
How do
way
you
almost.
guys know how many pieces of content are out?
you count it?
Do they keep track of it, or is that somewhere, or how would I count it? How would I know where to go and stuff?
How'd you know?
Yeah. How would I
What's our
be able
measurable?
to
How
do
do we?
that?
How are we able to? Our key results are measurable.
Yeah, you go to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and you count them. You look at what are the different types of content we're publishing, keep a track, and then at the end of the week, you just count how many we've done.
Okay. Thank you.
And they're usually pretty consistent. They're consistent how many we are. There's some that are variables, like Instagram posts, how many posts we do on Instagram. That is a variable. But the podcast is pretty consistent, YouTube's consistent, and so is Bible Reading Newsletter. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this quarterly quest, Comrade, do you see it on step 3? It says quarterly meeting. I believe that one needs to be updated. That one says 6/24/20. I think it needs to be like somewhere in the 9 or somewhere. Well, we're in the 3rd month, so it have to be a December one. I thought it was on there last night because I pulled up something.
And I want to clarify, 23 a week is actually 3% of 100 a day.
Oh, this is 100 a day.
Yeah, 100
Oh,
a day. by the end
Sorry.
of the
Yes,
year.
thank you, brother. So
Yeah.
100 a day, not 100 per week. Thank you. 100 a day. So you said there's 23. So
in this
yeah. Okay.
So we're 3% of the way there.
Yeah. So 3%. Well, that kind of thing takes momentum. I mean, if you're doing the basics, it grows really fast. I would think.
I think so. Momentum, systems, and team.
Yeah.
Does it matter, like, how many people shared a content that was out there?
No.
No.
Well, it matters as far as reaching more, but that doesn't count towards this metric
Right.
that we're measuring.
Right.
This is how many new pieces of creative is created and published, not shared.
So those pieces would be coming from when we start microblogging them,
Micro-content.
micro-contenting them.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to get that 100 pieces a day. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is there a
Yep.
system that we will use to be able to do that quickly to get 100 pieces a day out of one live cast or out of one, you know?
Yeah, the live cast mostly.
Can we recycle it and that'll be
Absolutely.
counted too?
Yes,
Okay,
we can
so we can
republish the same things from before. It works,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But we are working on a system right now. We've got the fastest system we've had for a while, but the biggest bottleneck that I see we're facing is leaders communicating with those who have raised their hand, new recruits, and say, hey, here I am, I want to learn how to do this. But they're workers who know how to do the technical work, but teaching someone else how to do what they did, that's the biggest
That's
bottleneck
hard.
we're facing. Is a shift from working to shift from helping, leading, training.
Gotcha.
That's our biggest
So
bottleneck.
don't you think a lot of people learn faster when they do a workathon? That's when people actually learn a new skill than sitting down trying to teach somebody something. If you're
Yeah.
working together, you see the other person, and people can take ownership by watching somebody else do it. It's like, oh, I can do that.
We're getting a lot done through a workathon. That's where we've started the last last month, 4 weeks.
Mhm.
We've gotten a lot done there. But part of the challenge too is that people like Rebecca has been forgetting every week to invite people to the workathon individually and make sure that they come. So, like, personal invitation to the people you're trying to train to show up at the workathon. That's been the current challenge.
Okay. So then we, in one of our leadership tables, we would need to address on having people time block. So it's the same time every week to do that workathon, right?
It is the same time every week.
For
But,
each
but
team.
in, yeah,
How was that again, Ryan?
each team is, we're trying to do some time blocking for each team, and we have some workathons going for that.
I mean, just to encourage the leaders, because it'll help them. I mean,
I
not everybody has to
completely
get all of them, but
Yeah,
if they have them, then everybody always knows, oh, it's always at that time.
yes.
So there's never any trying to guess, when is it, when? I don't remember. Routine.
I agree with you. The issue is not as much like we have the set time where it's consistent every time. The issue is having the leaders communicate with their team to be like, hey, the initial like, hey, we have this, would you like to come? It's like there's just like the relationship during the week with their team, like they're not really connecting or building that
What if the
relationship.
onboarding receives those dates of the time blocking so the new recruits, they can say, oh, we have this meeting for this team, this team, this team, this team on this date, this date, this date. So the new recruits are like, oh, well, I've always wanted to learn how to do blah, blah, blah. We could stick them in faster. That would be the fastest way to engage them. And if they come to a workathon, it's going to be the easiest thing for them to get started, more than trying to do the one-on-one and trying to figure out how to dance around an issue or trying to figure things out. They could come to go to work and they'd be like, okay, I can pull that up on my computer, or you know what I'm talking about? It's going to be a lot easier.
I think onboarding having the dates is a great idea. Part of the challenge with people knowing nothing, just showing up to a workathon, is that
They're
person who
confused.
knows nothing, they slow down the entire workathon, and everyone who knows things, they all get dropped down to the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. So then all the progress that could be made is now slowed to their understanding. So if they're able to watch a video first and get some idea, and once they have exposure first, then they're a lot more advanced in the workathon, rather than having to repeat that every single time. Because now you're not just wasting one person's time,
So what
but
if
a
we
bunch
have
of people's.
them, they know they have to have their Discord up so they can share screen. And what if they have their basic tool of like wherever else they have to be able to pull up those two things, have a requirement, and then have them just to sit and view for 3 workathons. So they don't actually engage, but they're actually, and ask them just to take notes only. Just take notes. We don't want you to work, we just want you to come to the workathon, see if it's something you're interested in, and don't let them work, but just let them take notes, and then at the end of it, by the 3rd time, they'll be learning, especially when they ask, well, how do we do such and such? We can send them a link and they can watch the video on how to do those things, and it would just be a lot easier for them to learn, and they wouldn't slow people down because they already know that, oh, I can do this.
I think that's interesting. That might work. As long as they have the attention span to pay attention if they're not working. Sometimes it.
I think when you're a new subject, most people want to learn new subjects. I mean, that's really when you're the most engaged.
I think we can try it out.
Especially if it's something you're interested in. If you're not
Yeah.
interested, you're going to lose them.
Right.
But if they're interested and they're showing up and they know that, they're going to. Okay. Okie dokie.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay. So now, thank you, brother. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to analyze the prior quarter in review. So we're going to pull up the link right here, Quarterly Quest 12, 23, 20. Thank you, Kamran. And we're going to just go through here and be able to mark off what was completed and what was not completed for this quarter. Come on, little guy. You can do it. Second page. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to look down to, and I think it said on that page before what step that is. Let's see if I can navigate to it again. I'm sorry. Okay, what worked well this past quarter? What needs improvement? What core requests were not achieved? Measure key results. Okay, I thought there was one that says, oh, okay, right here. Meeting step 6. Check off box. Let's go to that part right there. Let's go down to step 6, please. Let me go back to that page. This is it, yeah. So go to step 6, please. Thank you, guys. 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Organize a checklist of post-meeting actionable steps. What?
What happened to step 3?
I don't know, but it said at the top to go to that on our other one, on our other page, our first page.
Carmen, we gotta pull up the quarterly quest from last week.
He did. The link is 12/23/20, right?
Oh, but usually we copy and paste them over here.
Oh, okay. Or
So
we
we
can
can-
open the link though, right? No, I don't know.
We could, yeah.
But it needs to be corrected. The other part though. See what it says? It says we go to step 6. It says
Oh, yeah, I see what
the
you're
previous quarterly meeting, step 6. Check off the boxes, and that was one thing I wanted us to do, is to be able to check off the boxes. Well, what was completed, so we could say what worked well this past quarter by doing that, by looking at that. But that's not step 6. Enoch, you have a better understanding. A lot of times, do you know what step that would be?
I think I have it here.
Would be step.
I think we have it.
See the
If we go back to step 3, I just paste them over here.
step 3 on what are today's
Yes.
meeting? Okay, gotcha. I will go there.
go back.
And they have
Thank you,
the
brother.
drop-down arrows.
And these are things that were completed, that worked well this past month. So things that were completed. Okay. And where did you get these from, Enoch?
Last month.
Last month. Okay, so it's not quarter, it's monthly?
I'm sorry, last quarter.
Last quarter, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what worked well this past quarter was Enoch was able to train the squad leaders to divide as measured by 18
No.
total squads. Okay, so
I
that.
didn't do that.
Okay.
So we can leave that unchecked.
Okay, and then Conran.
But one thing I did do
Yes.
is. No, never mind. I didn't do that.
Okay. And then Conran implemented systems for the secret trilogy on the hub, on the system hub, measured by 2 to 3, sketched from traffic secrets. How do we do on that one, brother?
Fail.
Should we put numbers out here, how close we got to it? No? Okay.
What did you accomplish, Comrade?
What did I accomplish?
Yeah. What progress did you make towards it?
Something.
What progress did you make? Like what number did you get? This is time to recognize progress, not look at the failure.
Yeah, we want to look at, yeah.
11.
We can update the system a little bit right here, what worked well this past quarter. Maybe what worked well underneath each one of those, so even if we didn't accomplish it, maybe we should be having a thing underneath it that says what we accomplished towards that goal,
Yeah, that's the question that we're looking at right now.
okay?
I mean, we
I
want
see
to
what you're
recognize
saying.
whether we did it or not, but we
Right.
also, it's not really like a failure, it's like a failure or success. It's like,
Or it's
Oh,
a drop-down.
like-
Sure.
Cameron, when you look at this, is if you sketched any secrets of that book, those are all things that now is the time to be extremely grateful for the progress that was made in this last quarter than the stuff that wasn't. This number of like 3 to 20 is not really like a success or failure type thing. It's just a measurable, that's like something we're aiming to do, that's a goal. A lot of times we do a stretch goal so that, because if you did up to like number 11, that's probably more than you would have if you set it to like number 5. If you do 3 to 5 and you succeed, it's like, well, that's a bummer, because you setting 20 allowed you to get to 11 instead of 5. So it's like being extremely grateful for the 3 to 11 that you received. This is a time to express gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah, and it's good that we set good high standards, which is great because you reach higher if you do. So this is great. So what do you feel like was accomplished? What did you see was good?
I saw you make a lot of progress, and you've had great success with the systems for the trilogy secrets. Traffic Secrets, we've been applying this last month in doing more quote cards production. We published more videos than ever before, which is one of the secrets on YouTube. We've gone on YouTube, Instagram, which is one of the secrets in the book. We've been optimizing the email.
Let's put that in there.
Well, Kamran's the one who's typing,
Oh, brother, come on.
and he's also the one who's like filtering,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
is this true? Do I agree with this? Or
Oh, yeah. Well, all I know is there were some serious major things that I saw that really changed because of it. Because you and I was at one of the meetings, so I know things happen. Yeah. So we just need to put those in there. Number 2.
and we got 500 followers on Instagram, which is all an implementation of the traffic secrets. Got 400 subscribers on YouTube, which was the implementing the traffic secrets. We had daily content scheduled on what is it, on podcast and YouTube, which is the implementation of traffic secrets. That's pretty powerful.
There were so many things that got done. Didn't the traffic secrets have to do with also helping us to be able to put the daily count book post it up? Didn't that help a lot of it, the secrets?
Oh, yeah, the funnel.
I think that would be optimizing the account with funnel. That would be two down.
Oh, okay. So I mean, didn't it take some of that together in order to do that other part too? I mean, didn't it take some of those skills in order to?
Yeah. What happened was we collected more emails than any other quarter, which is part of the traffic secrets, because it's all about traffic you own, which is our email list, and that was created from the account book funnel, as traffic you own, and we also got made serious headway with our Dream 100 folks who want to do interviews and work together and meetups and collabs, which is part of the Dream 100 traffic secrets.
Yeah, isn't that with the girls coming, Marianne and is it Rachel?
Rachel?
Them coming and doing the interview, wasn't that like part of that? To do the interviews was part of the traffic secrets, is it not?
Yeah, doing the interviews is part of the traffic secrets, in the sense of like publishing content that people are interested in. The Dream 100 interviews are things like with Attila,
Right.
with his YouTube channel with like 300,000 subscribers. He wants help with that, and also this other guy with 300,000 subscribers, Dustin, he wants to meet with me over in Spokane. So like on the 17th, which is all part of the traffic secrets, and we learned that from traffic secrets. And everything that we're doing with publishing, the daily publishing, came from traffic secrets, and it came from just implementing the principles that are here. So
Praise the Lord.
Carmen, like as a team, you've been helping the team to implement a lot of these principles already. It's just a matter of like connecting the dots between what we do on our daily activities with these traffic secrets.
Amen. Wow, praise the Lord.
So we've made some great success in here, and these are all things that did not exist
Before.
the last quarter of last year.
That is wonderful. Praise the Lord. That's growth. I know we had growth. Oops.
We had massive growth.
We're going to come back to that, as we think of other things that how it affected it. Let's jump down in there to Diana will lead the team. Well, me and Cameron were able to move forward in this. Thank goodness for Cameron's helping that.
Cameron, are you able to take notes?
It says, we'll lead the team in implementing strategies in the no-fail communication book as measured by implementing 13 strategies for March the 24th.
So you got them all sketched out.
They were sketched.
We
That was
finished
first
the
thing.
entire
They
book
were
as together on Wednesday,
finished the book. Yep.
and you guys went through and you saw you made a lot of progress on figuring out how many of them were actually applying
Right.
as a ministry.
Right.
So you've got massive clarity on what are the parts that we're not applying and what are the parts that we're going to apply. Also, in this last quarter, we implemented the cascading communication, which is the one-on-one meetings that we're having, and then and I know like Tina's doing one-on-ones with Susie, which is all part of implementing this book.
Well, that's wonderful.
And those one-on-ones have been providing massive clarity for a lot of different
And
people as
growth.
far as their roles. Yeah, growth.
It helps them do their job better.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Congratulations. Good job, Tina.
And that's a direct result from this book.
Isn't Conrad do the same thing? He's been reaching out to me, man. I'm telling you, he has helped me get on target a couple times. So I'm like, wow. So our team is actually communicating better.
Yeah,
And so
Conrad's talking to more people a lot, and Rebecca's been talking to a lot more people.
Wow.
Those are two
Lot of
things that both
growth.
struggled with.
Wow.
And Tina has been talking a lot more to people as well. and she switched from just talking to her little like squad to actually like working with
Across the board.
the platoon that she has of like 5 squads. That has been a lot of communication
Nice.
improvement.
Nice.
And all of us here too, we got a lot more. I think, like we asked like towards the beginning of the quarter, like what do we see as the number one biggest challenge in the family? And we found that it's like lack of communication or trust or something. That there's been a communication barrier with people to feel comfortable sharing. And so during this last 3 months, we've really been tackling trust and communication and safety and honesty and being able to express ourselves openly. And I see there's a night and day difference in being able to communicate together with that. So I haven't been seeing the same challenges we faced like at the beginning of the year. And I think that this book and us listening to it and learning how to perceive like conversations with people,
Uh-huh.
it's made a huge difference.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Hello, my sister Sherry. Okay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Sorry, so much.
Oh, you're fine. God is good. And then, wow, I like that. So let's jump on down to where Tina's at. Tina will lead the team to finish optimizing, having the account book funnel and the 4 secret funnels, and have all of the email sequence done. We know she's been doing, working on the emails, right? I think
And the
she's-
new account book got published.
and the account book got published. That's a good thing.
And I think like a fourth of our email list came from this funnel.
Well, praise the Lord.
And I did a lot of daily life videos that were talking about the account book.
Wow, that's wonderful. And I think it's getting out there too with being posted on the squads at the bottom of it. I haven't really heard on mine how Angela's doing with that part because I don't really hear it. I didn't hear it, but I know that a lot of people were, connecting with that. I don't know if they purchased or not, but it seemed like a lot of people were engaged and like, oh, that I did something like that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And usually it takes like 7 or 8 exposures before someone makes a decision. So
Isn't that neat to remember?
yeah, it is.
That's something we should be training our people that are posting the 100 pieces of content to let them know that once they even see it 7 different times in 7 different places,
Yeah.
it's going to make a difference. So that'll be an encouragement to them
That's so true.
once they understand that marketing strategy.
Yeah, because it's just that like the first time you hear it, you're like, oh no, they're not interested. Second time, you're like, oh, I kind of recognize that. Third time, it breeds familiarity. The 4th time, it breeds like trust, and then it's preference, and then it's like decision, and then you're like, oh, okay, I need that. So each time it's just it's like a relationship, it's progression.
And I can see even my own self. I won't buy something, I have to see it almost 7 times before I'll ever.
Me too. I notice it too. It's like I see these ads, I'm like, no. And then I start gaining more preference. I'm like, and I know the principle, and I see it happening. It works on me, and I understand the principle.
The same here. I'm thinking, I know on the 7th time, Dana, you're probably going to jump on that one. So it's the law of numbers.
Yeah,
Because
that's
there
right.
is a law with numbers,
There
believe it or
is.
not. And lots of businesses know these laws,
Yeah.
and they are true laws because it really
Yeah,
it speaks for itself.
yeah.
Wow. So we made some accomplishments this month. Okay, and so
Serious.
Rebecca.
Sherry,
Yes.
I sent you a message to show you where we're at.
Rebecca.
I think with the account book, we also created an online course
Oh, hang on. Course from
on
praise the
goal
Lord.
setting, like living your calling, understanding your calling and your life direction, and then actually breaking it down to steps for you to apply that. These stepping stones. That was. And we use that online course from some of our previous live casts that are just kind of intentionally put together, which I think is extremely encouraging because we started the Direction of God program with the vision that we're going to create an online course, one live cast at a time, and that they build on each other. So when you put them together, then it's actually like a whole set
Whole
of
set.
Courses. So
Wow.
that's
Well, this
really
is good to know. This is good to know. We're making progress, and people, the ministry is growing tremendously.
tremendously.
Somewhere on here we have to have that kitchen on here too, because man, I'm telling you, that is like one of the biggest things on the face
Yeah.
of the planet. It changes everybody's life. None of us could do our job if it wasn't for the kitchen.
It's so true.
I'm telling you,
It's night or day
when I think
difference.
about everybody having to do 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day and having to take from here and then having to go up there and having our sister Sherry to do that. What a blessing. And the food has been amazing. When I come up here, I'm like, dude, I'm like having good food over here.
That's right. We've had a lot of good food.
I'm not kidding.
It's
We
a
really
blessing.
have. I'm like, okay, maybe I can come over here for breakfast maybe.
Listen to the week.
Okay, moving on because we're now at 37 minutes after the hour. So we have Rebecca will lead the team to repurpose 3 live casts using content prizes measured by publishing 20 pieces a day or 560 a month by the end of March. I don't know where we're at on that. Does anybody have any feedback?
Tina, when are you going to be able to engage? Because I know you got a lot to share. Carmen, what do you
She
see?
sent a message, but I couldn't find it.
Carmen, what do you see that we've been able to accomplish with the content so far?
Well, getting the transcripts was good.
Okay, let's put that on there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carmen. And we can always jump back up here with her when she comes, okay?
These transcripts we found is a foundation of all of our repurposing into micro content, because there's an online course we got and it said to do the transcripts, and we've known about it for like half of 2020, but we never did it because we didn't want to pay Fiverr like $35 or something. But when we did, the transcripts come in like a day or two, and they're really well done. And we put them on there. It makes everybody's life easier. Tina says it's so much easier to find quotables. Susie says it's so much easier to pump out microblogs from the transcript. It's a lot easier to write the Bible readings for what we're doing in the small groups. It's like everything's so much easier. So we're getting out those pieces of content, and what we did is we switched from where we had a database of a list of a bunch of like phrases that were not really full sentences, and they confused people. They found like the people who wanted to make the designs saw this list of quotables, and they're like, there's not enough that are ready for design. So now we're doing it on slides, Google Slides. So we're literally taking the slide presentations that we already have, repurposing those, using those backgrounds and photos when they're relevant, and then creating like slides and quotables and putting questions, and also the questions for the Bible readings. Just yesterday, I think it was yesterday.
Oh, the ones with the
Yesterday,
Bible readings? Okay.
Yeah, the questions in the Bible reads with a Bible verse.
Uh-huh.
We're using that. We're putting the question in a photo and the Bible verse below in the photo, and the microblog is a little note at the end of the Bible reading.
Oh,
So now we got
goodness.
10 more of those a week.
Wow.
So it's just another way to repurpose
Repurpose.
if
Oh,
you're going to do that
good.
anyways. And it all comes from like the transcripts.
This is working out good.
It's working out really good.
Wow. Praise
So
the Lord.
I see the gleams of a gold morning, and it's going like closer and closer and closer.
Good. This is good.
It's not an expense, it's a benefit.
And
Yeah.
and you
It's
know
buying our
it's
time back at a discount.
Amen.
yeah, and the good thing about it is you can see how it takes a team to do this. It's
Mhm.
not one person; it's everybody from different departments, and
Yeah.
it's all coming together in different areas.
So true.
When one's struggling, that we're all struggling.
Yeah.
The Lord was showing me a picture of that the other day about the body of Christ. It is so important for us to understand, like if part of the body is struggling, like an arm, if it's struggling, do you just cut it off? Do you just cut it off and say, oh, well, listen, I don't have time for you.
You're disturbed by it and look at it.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
like, dude. Instead, if it's wounded, you wrap it up and you gently take care of it until it mends. You don't sit there and go, get with it, buddy. You better get up there and start working, right?
That's right.
You know. And I was like, oh my goodness, this was such an epiphany because it was a picture. I deal
So
well
it's-
with pictures better than just words.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, man, I always knew about the body and how we all work together. But I thought that's how you do a piece of the body.
Yeah.
If it's wounded, you wrap it and you care for it and you start giving it nutrition.
It's like your
and-
daughter's ankle. Like
Yeah.
she's got like problems, so her whole body is affected, and her whole body compensates. Like her shoulders have to put on more weight, her armpits with the crutches, so that they're like compensating. Where it's like if one member suffers, we all suffer with it,
Suffer
and
with it.
we will endure until they're healed.
And everybody comes up and they love on it. They help
Yeah.
it out. They do whatever they can do. It's like, oh, here, let me lift that for you.
Yeah.
That's making way for that one that's wounded. And I thought, man, this is such a concept. If the church could get a hold of that concept, if that's how we deal with the members in the body,
So true.
the church would be so healthy and so full of hope and help and love.
in helping others as well as recognizing self-pity. Like when we get into the self-pity mode and we start looking at our failure and our faults and our mistakes and we get all discouraged and down, and like if we really recognize that I am never just discouraged myself and it only affects me, that if I allow myself to focus on scarcity and I allow myself to just get in despair, then I'm actually causing like the whole body to be affected. We think that just me, myself, and I, and that my decisions don't influence other people, and it doesn't matter. I'm not doing much of. I'm insignificant. My work doesn't matter. I'm not really making any difference. And as I'm thinking all these things, so it makes it easier for me to fall away and fall into this dark trap. But just like if your daughter like hurts her ankles, the whole body suffers. But if we realize, no, the body doesn't just cut me off, or like I'm not, like the parts that are like seem less necessary, we bestow much more honor, and as 1 Corinthians 12 says, are even more necessary. It's like these are the things that we have to recognize, that I matter, my work makes a difference, I contribute to the team, and the team is relying on me. We suffer not as individuals, we suffer as a team. And we don't succeed as individuals, we succeed as a team.
Yeah, and you know, as I'm seeing it, is like even with therapy. So we don't do that. So you know, anyway, we'll talk about that in time. Sorry,
That is
get off
good.
subject. Okay, let's look at the next step that we're moving
Well,
into.
we didn't go over
didn't?
the first quarterly quest.
Okay, first quarterly quest. What number?
Training, well, it's not a number, it's training. It's step 3, but it's step 3. It's just scroll to the top of the quarterly quest that we're going
What
through.
worked well this past quarter? Those what we're working on.
Yeah, Enoch will train the squad leaders to divide as measured by 18 total squads.
Oh, okay, we're back on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, some things that went well with that was,
We're skipping for a reason. Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if, I don't know when we submitted, when we started the field report, but the field reports have been going extremely well.
It's been going for about 3 months, maybe right there at it. So, but one way or the other, it's being implemented, and Kathy being
And
taken-
revised.
and
Analyze and revise. Oh,
And
Kathy taking over, like,
Making sure they're
reminding
done.
people.
Yes, and putting it on our reports about how many out of how many. That's a blessing to know who is and who isn't,
Huge blessing.
and how many percentage-wise. And that's
Checking in with us. Those.
are good.
And I think the measurable key results this quarter has been a tremendous blessing. I'm noticing that people who set a measurable rhythm, as Brittany Richard was recommending, that we create a rhythm for ourselves for the type of things that we do. Like Sherry's getting a rhythm of like 14 meals a week, or roughly, or 13, and then like Kathy's got a rhythm of how many people fill out the enlist form, and Tina has a rhythm for how many quotables she does. The more that we can attach a number to what we do on a weekly basis, people are getting a lot of clarity. Like Shanicia, she's like, I'm doing 14, scheduling 14 this week, 14 next week, and she's like already a month and a half out in scheduled
That's
content.
wonderful.
It's
so
amazing.
not just measuring key results, but also having the key of measuring key results with a number beside it.
Well, that's what the
True.
measure word means.
Right.
That is a number. It's a metric.
Well, I was thinking a lot of times we measure by like, well, that's not true. You're right. Look at that. Wow. Say thank you. Say thank you. I'll take it from you. Say thank you. Say thank you. You're good, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what the measure means, is having the number associated to the work that we're doing.
Okay. That's good that you're clarifying, because in my head I was thinking measurable. I was thinking like other things, like maybe, more of a phrase, by.
Or like a feeling or a
something.
progress or something.
Something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, the
okay,
measure
more of a number.
is just a number. And I've been like really focused this quarter trying to see like how can we attach a number for every person, because it adds immense clarity.
It does.
Because like how do you define success, or how do you, like a winning team wants to know what the finish line looks like. So if we can get this, then they'll blast through, and they have been. They've been showing up. Like Susie with this number in the microblog, she's like, I'm gonna do 10 microblogs a month, and she's like, 10 a week, and she went from doing 1 microblog a week to she did almost 7 in a week, and then the next workathon she did almost 7 in a day.
Wow, look at that.
And it was like
I know,
1 a week
amazing, huh?
to 7 a week to 7 in a day about. And the reason what allowed her to do that is she set a number. She measured what her responsibility was, and then she learned to compete against herself. So compare herself with herself yesterday,
Yeah.
and see, like, she's measuring the time, the minutes it takes, time blocking, and how many, like, she's measuring the number of microblogs she can do within that time. She set aside an hour and a half. She's like, I'm going to do 5 in this hour. And she
Wow.
did 4. She's like, okay, what made it slower? Okay, next week, I'm going to have the same hour and a half, but instead of doing 4, I'm going to set to do 8. And she does like 6.
Well, and the nice thing about that, you did it. The nice thing about that, what's going to happen, the fruit that's going to come from all of that, is because she's working against herself and she's able to do more, she's able to learn the process of not to do it these ways.
Yeah.
But this is the fastest way that she'll, so when she goes to teach somebody,
Yes.
they won't be learning these baby steps that are really
It don't
primitive.
work.
They're going to be learning the ones that really work.
Yeah.
So it's actually helping set up the system better.
Yes.
And
Sounds like you were sitting in on our family worship this morning.
oh, this is exciting. Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's been going good. But also with the squads, we split. I think we had 8 before. I think we split like 3 times or so. And Giselle has been stepping up tremendously this week. She's invited a lot of people. She's really got a grip. What's cool about Giselle is she's inviting people, and it's not just like her squad, but she's inviting a bunch of people's squads. So she quickly learned all the times that are available, and she checks up on her contacts. So she has a well-rounded idea of like pretty much all 11 squads of who's doing what, and she's been helping a lot in trying to make sense of who to partner and who's available, and inviting people to enlist. And so she's a colporteur, so she has that like persuasion skill, and she's been learning how to get Bible studies, and the Marianka Margarita joined. It's really been just so much has been done with the squads.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
God has been blessing.
This is good.
Oh, and another thing that we started measuring this quarter, is for the first time we measured how many people are attending. We never did that since June.
Attending, right.
That attending's helpful because we know we're averaging about 60, 65, somewhere around there, people, and it's growing. Because how are we going to know if we reach 1,000 people if we don't measure that?
Yeah, and something that's really helped too is letting people know, the leaders, that these are your flocks. I think once they understand that they're their flocks, they are more engaged. It's like, oh, they're my flocks, I have responsibility. Then it's like, well, how am I going to help my flocks? And it's funny you're saying that because I've had 3 or 4 people reach out to me, and they act like they've talked to me like forever, and I'm like, oh, no, really ever, And it's really interesting because they already have made a connection with me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, well, that means if you get connected, you need to make sure you follow through, because what an exciting time to meet new people and to be part of their life and to pray for them. I love it. I love it when I get to pray for them and to encourage them. So I'm excited about that, because before you feel like you're just supposed to be leading out. You don't know that you're like engaged that way. And I'm learning that, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Because as you learn that, you're going to like instill that in Fletcher and everyone, because we all need to develop that culture to realize leading out is not like facilitating a Bible study. Leading out is influence. And influence requires relationship. Friendship requires frequency. So that is where the influence is, and it's the depth of our relationship, which is what is going to help our influence of the Bible study. That as we share prayer testimonies and studies.
And that changed it when you said your little flock. I'm like, dude, that's my flock.
I know.
It changed from leadership to flock. I'm like, oh, that changes it for me.
Mom has on her calendar too, like I forgot what, but she had little flock. She's like, reach my little flock.
She said anything, and that's what it really hit me, is when she said, oh, the little flock, isn't it feel good to have your little flock or something? She said something. I was like, oh, this is good.
And they're like tender sheep, that they're like dependent upon you. It's not just like, I show up and you all show up, and it's like, goodbye, to go hang out with the wolves.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, these are my sheep.
You get a chance to engage in their life and to be an encouragement and to see who the God's having them to reach.
Yeah.
Because they have little sheep too.
They
have all
do.
sheep.
And that's going through the doorways.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. This is
I
neat.
praise God, because I've been coming to that realization. That's what I've been calling them in my account book.
That's
little
good.
flocks.
That's good.
Oh, praise the Lord.
God is really, really trying to reach me. So hallelujah.
Amen. He's
Love
reaching us
hearing
all.
good news like this. This
And
is great.
That, like this shift of mindset is one of the things that gets me so excited about the squads. One of my greatest joys is when people shift from thinking like I'm being served or like what I want, what I'm getting from the study to like what I'm giving to the study, and also not just like what I'm giving, but to take ownership and responsibility, not as a hireling that just kind of shows up for hire and then leaves when things get rough, but as an owner, as a shepherd, be like, hey, this is my little flock. And I look at those, there's 11, so that means there's 22 leaders. Think, 22 Bible workers who are taking ownership of their little flock.
Amen. Amen.
That's cool.
That is very good. I just want everybody to know that we're at 9:53. We're almost at 10 o'clock, and we're only on. We're going to be.
And we have another hour left.
Yes, and we need that for brainstorming. So let's get through this. So we have the next section that says what needs to be improved. One thing I would like to see improvement is when we have our meetings, I'd like for us to find somebody that's willing to put our measurable key results in before the meeting so that we can read through them and discuss them, not have to go and find them. That's one thing I would love to see improved. Not that we're going to improve it, but that's one thing I would like to see improved. Is it the measure key results, or the number of subscribers on YouTube? That stuff is already populated.
Once the form gets up, the form is made, then I go and try to do the ones that I put in.
Nice job. Thank you, Kathy.
Which now I do the Facebook, the Instagram, plus the emails, plus the ones that
Yes.
I'm in charge of getting together too. So
That is something that we could say was an improvement. Kathy's been doing that, and so's Colin. They've been
Yeah, both of
filling
them.
those in. This has
That
been
is
a
an improvement.
huge improvement.
That is really helpful
It saves
to
us
have.
time in the meetings. So now we need one that'll do. Somebody will do it for the for the quarterly and the annually on our key and measurable key results.
we need to get clear on what are the quarterly measurable key. What are the key results we want to measure quarterly?
Right, I agree. We need to discuss
Because they're
that.
different than what we measure weekly.
exactly.
Oh, I agree. So we want to know how many we have for this one compared to the last one, but then we need to set new goals.
Yeah.
You know, we need to have in parentheses what our goal will be when we're talking about this. But we do need to have where we went, what we've accomplished in the last 3 months, and then what our new goal is going to be out beside on the measurable key results in parentheses, what we want it to look like in 3 months. That would save a lot of time and energy if we do it right here at this number D. If we do it that way. How many subscribers we have, how many we had at the beginning of the quarter, and then where we're going to be, what we want it to be. So there's going to be actually 3 outcomes for each one of those. But we don't have anybody to fill those in, so who do we have that can do that? Measurable key results. What it was at the beginning of the quarter, of last quarter, and where it's at now. Who can do that? For the subscribers for YouTube,
I could try.
could you do it?
I'll try to.
Okay.
So what you're asking me to do is every month report how many subscribers we have for like YouTube and
Well,
Instagram
that
and
Kathy's
such.
doing kind of already. What's
The
not
weekly
happening is you're right. This is the annual one. We don't have anything on here. We don't have any records to show where we were, how much we progressed for this quarter, and then where our goal is going to be for the next quarter. We don't have that on here. We don't have any measurable
Oh, I
results.
can't add to the thing because Enoch has, I think Tina do that.
Yeah, so I don't know who can fill that in today, but that's a serious one that we have to have for this annual meeting.
If Kathy's writing down how many there are, all she has to do is
Oh,
add
yeah.
up the last 3 months.
Kathy, can you fill those in today for us?
No,
No?
I started last week doing,
Okay. Oh,
so
okay.
I can give you last week's.
Okay.
I can give you in 3 months, but I
Okay.
can't do.
No worries. Okay. But we can maybe start looking at that. What do you think? Is there a way we can do it is there a way we can keep a track of that?
I'll
for this
help
one
her
quarter?
do that. I'll show her how to do it and I'll help her with that.
Okay. So what can we put right there for now? Do we have anything for subscribers on YouTube? Can we just put a number right there what we have
I
right
can
now?
put you. Yeah, I can definitely put who
Oh, that's a
the
good
YouTube
idea.
subscribers
Okay.
are.
we can
Oh,
do
that's a
that
good
for
idea.
We'll do
I
that
can
for
put what I put on Sunday. That's not
Perfect.
a
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, sister. I really appreciate that.
No, we got 400
We have at least 400.
Yeah, so yeah, it's already outdated from what was on Sunday.
That's
Here,
okay.
I'll tell you what it is.
But I don't know if we really need to be measuring these specific ones. I think what would be good to do is try to figure out
Where we
what-
want to be.
what should we measure?
Yeah.
What do we want to measure for quarterly?
Well, don't you have to have a number of what we've been able
Yeah.
to do so we can
Yeah, but
look at it?
But what we would have to choose first, like what measure, what do we want to measure first? Because it doesn't matter what the number is until we really determine, do we want to measure YouTube subscribers at the end of every quarter?
Oh, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Why?
all of these we have to. Why?
The reason is because
It's going to help us reach
we'll
our
know
goal.
where we came from and where we're headed.
So are we
And then we
comparing?
can choose how far we want to go.
Are we comparing from 3 months ago?
Well, we didn't have the information 3 months ago, but we'll be
What do you
able
mean
to
we didn't have the
compare.
information 3 months ago?
We'll be able to compare them for next quarter
Right.
where we came from.
Kathy,
This-
Why
don't have
why
that.
wouldn't we have the information? Yeah, we do. We just
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Hamburg
does?
was putting it on.
Oh,
Other people were doing it. I just said I don't have it.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha. Okay.
just on the YouTube Creator Studio.
So are you,
shows
what I'm
you
hearing
90
you
days
saying
ago.
we don't need to? Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking.
yeah, but what
Why
about
would we need to?
what?
Because I'm asking, is there something more important of greater value to? Please don't let
Measure.
them touch that. Those are fragile. I've already broken one or two for kids.
Oh, here, yeah.
But there's a lot of other stuff you could touch.
We're not even limit, huh?
My question is there something more
A greater value.
greater value that needs to be measured less frequently that should be measured quarterly?
Well, if we're not going to do that, then we should take it off.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
So do we need to
I'm-
take it off of here?
I'm asking what needs to be
Wait,
put here, like removed or taken away, added or taken away. But hold on, it's like oil change. Do we really need to measure our oil every week? No, changing your oil of your car is like a quarterly thing, or 3,000 miles. So are there things in our ministry that is like changing our oil that you don't do weekly or monthly, but you do quarterly?
Somebody else will have to answer any of that because I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking that you could go on YouTube and look backwards, but can you go on Facebook and look backwards? Or can you go on Instagram and look backwards?
Mom,
But-
all internet and social media, it's like all the internet is data. The only thing that like really makes money online is data, and that's what marketing and all that does. All social media is marketing. All marketing is data. Yes, you can trace back from years and look at where you had it. All of it is just collection of data.
So do we want to just skip this for now on this part and move on to?
Wait,
I'm
let's
not
talk
asking
about
to
this
skip.
for a
I'm
second.
asking to identify what are the things that we should measure.
What if we measured it on each quarter instead of each month?
We should do it every month so we can reach the goal.
We
so
should
can
do it
reach
every
the
week.
quarter.
We're doing
Well,
it
we
once
should do
a
it every
week.
week.
We want to
Every
continue
day would be
doing
good.
Every week.
What you focus on grows. Whatever you want to grow, what gets measured gets improved. So if we, like honestly, if we measure our email every day, that thing will grow every day. It's just whatever we focus on.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Because if you don't like that one, you don't like that one. So I'm totally lost. So I don't know where we need to grow at. I don't know.
Not
So
that he doesn't like it. He's asking.
I've already said, so I don't know what you didn't like. I already said.
I didn't
You
say
need to
it like
measure
that.
this and measure that to come up with an answer. But if you don't want to come up with an answer, then you don't measure it.
He's saying that to do it weekly, not.
Well, we have to do it weekly.
on-
How can we not do it weekly? But
Not,
so, or is he
uh,
saying that he doesn't want it done this today too?
He's saying,
Right.
let's think about what's not being measured every week,
Oh, think about what's not being measured. Oh,
and
to rethink it all. Okay.
yes, and
Oh, I didn't
see
get that.
what, like the oil change. He gave a good example of the oil change. You don't look at your oil
I
dipstick
do.
every week.
I do. So I
But-
don't know.
Okay, well, but that's something you would want to do once a month or every 3 months. So he's looking at what can we measure that we don't measure every week, but still significant to look at every month or every quarter.
So we need to revamp all this and find other areas that we need to look at because we are looking. I can read it right here. It says subscribers on YouTube. I can read that. So are we wanting to have new things that we're looking at? Is that what you're saying? Because Because I'm looking at this right here.
I'm asking. This is the same question I ask every quarterly meeting
Okay.
because, and it always gets skipped because they're like, I don't know, let's keep going. It's
I
like we
think
gotta go do
that we
something else.
wanted to add to it so we have a measurable, but you said you don't want to do that because we're already doing that every week. So why should we do it now? And I'm like, well, to me, you need it, but if you don't need it, well, then I guess we shouldn't do that.
I just want to say, whenever you say like it or that or this, like I don't exactly know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
gotcha.
If you're talking about measuring YouTube or
Oh,
subscribers or
I'm talking about each
measuring-
one of these should have numbers on it so we know, like Deborah said over again, how are we going to measure at the end of the year if we reached our goals if we're not measuring it?
well, we're
I-
definitely measuring it weekly.
We are.
Okay, so, but we don't need to do it monthly? I mean quarterly? Is that what you're saying?
So listen to what I'm saying.
That's what
I'm
I
not saying
think
we
too.
have to or we don't, or I want to or I don't. I'm not saying this is what I like or what I don't like. I'm asking us to evaluate
If we
what
should?
would be best to. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Well, I'm going to vote, since it comes to a vote. I think it should be done quarterly, and you vote too. I agree. We both are. There's two people that think that we still need to do it for the.
Because if we
How are we
don't
gonna-
have a number that we start with, how do we
can
know
you
how far
know
we
where
went?
you came or where you're going?
when
how
you
can
say
you reach?
a number that we start with, what do you mean by that?
It's like right now today. Right today we have 508 people who are on YouTube
Instagram.
or
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
That's okay.
So Instagram, next 3 months from now, we'll have 1,000. Then we know that we gained 500.
So you want to measure these in reference to how many we had 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And
That
you
way,
want-
when we're making our quarterly
how okay.
requests, we'll know what to do with the
I'm not opposed to that. How would that add more value than what we're already doing in measuring weekly, so we know where we started, where we're going? What greater value does that provide than what we're already doing every week?
Because you don't know where you're going, you're just doing increments by the month. Because at your monthly meeting, you're addressing that. So you only know what you're doing per month, but you're not seeing growth. You're not seeing a chart to say, what the chart is looking like or where we're going. You have to have, whenever you do any kind of event, you have, or fundraiser or whatever, you're trying to reach your goal, you have to have a measurement of where you're at on that ladder to reach that goal. We don't even know what our goal is because we're just now seeing how much we can grow. And when by looking at this, we're able to see each quarter how much we were able to grow and what caused us to be able to grow so much.
Exactly.
That was our key thing. So we're progressing, just like we said. Did you say Susie was doing that? Each week she's making more. She's seeing what's really working, what's not working. So she's able to get rid of the bad, the things, the basic stuff. So now she's able to move at a lot faster rate because we found what really
What's
works.
working.
And so I was thinking the measurable, when you see these numbers, we're going to be able to see how much
In
we
a
really
group.
grow and what caused us to grow. And by seeing what caused us to grow, we can even triple or quadruple it.
Because this is a bigger overview of the same number.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I can see that.
That's a little, yeah. Isn't that what you're saying, Deborah?
That's exactly what I'm
That's
saying.
Makes
the
sense.
way.
So then, if that's the case, then what we'll need is three things. We need to know
Right.
what number we were. We need to know what number we were a quarter ago, where
Right.
we're at today, and where we want to be in 3 months.
Exactly.
That's what we said.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. I appreciate you, like us discussing this, so we understand.
And you know what?
We're
That's because from the different sides of the brain. Because I think we said that, but then when I have to see word pictures. You know what I'm talking about? So maybe what we were saying didn't make any sense whatsoever. But that is exactly what we're saying.
I don't. I understood what you guys were saying.
Do we not?
You said that. You
Oh,
said
okay.
it, and I heard you, and
That didn't make any
I
sense.
didn't disagree with you. It made perfect sense to me. I understand.
Oh, okay.
But the difference is that
Maybe it's not for the whole group. Maybe it didn't make sense for the whole group.
I don't know that the whole group didn't speak. It's been the five of us. Carmen hasn't said anything. I think the difference is that when people try to communicate or speak what they're trying to say without understanding first what the other person's saying, that's when there's like a communication loss.
Oh, okay.
So you're giving out suggestions before you're like really trying to understand. You're like I don't know what it is. I don't think it's necessarily like you per se, but
Oh, yes.
you
Okay.
you didn't understand, and then you start talking about stuff. Kathy understood, and
But we still came up with the same answer that me and your mom came up with. It's still the same answer.
yes,
So we just think really fast is all.
Well, I don't. I mean,
Because it's the
think,
same answer. It's the same answer. We say.
I think really fast too. I think it's more about just acknowledging what people are saying and like
Oh.
making sure that you understand what people are saying.
Oh,
like, as
trying
you
to
share.
comprehend what they're saying. Okay, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Because
in other words,
even in
'cause
persuasion,
I couldn't.
like in persuasion, when you validate what people say, or when you or repeat what someone says,
Mhm.
or when you like acknowledge what someone says, and then you share another idea, people are willing to like come to an agreement and do that. They just want to make sure that they're heard and that
I
things
see
are
what
being
you're
understood.
Okay, and then for me, it causes confusion for me because I'm like, then I'm lost. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. That doesn't work. So
You're
as-
lost when you
Yeah.
repeat what the other person is trying to
Not,
say.
not necessarily. Not necessarily, because I have seen in the past, like, if you don't understand something, if you repeat it back to somebody, then you're able to say, okay, that's what I heard. And they're like, no, that's not what I said. And that's what you say to me every time. It's like, no, that's not what I said. And I'm like, that's what I'm hearing. So, okay. So,
So
it's-
wouldn't you be lost before you repeated what you said, but you just didn't
no,
know you
that
were
just
lost?
totally lost me because I was thinking, oh, he doesn't want that. That's what I heard you say. No, I don't want that.
Yeah, I never said that.
And now I'm
Yeah.
thinking, if you don't like but we still came up with the same outcome that we were saying that we thought. So to me, that was like a lot of dialogue in between. Didn't make any sense. That I was trying to figure out. Well, does he not want that? He does want that. That he doesn't want it. But then he does want that. So I don't know. I don't know what he wants. So it leaves me in state of confusion.
Well, I wanted the dialogue.
Yeah. No, that's good. No, that's fine. I think that's good because it helps everybody else understand why we need this, so we can get to this, because not everybody sees how we would get there, and somebody else
Okay.
might have better input.
All right, so
Is that
that's
what you're
good. Yeah, yes, exactly, because someone else might have a better input.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
and what we found out is that what we have right now is not what we need,
Right.
and we don't have the roles in place. So in order, like, what would it take to get that in place here?
Right.
The way that we're getting these numbers
Mhm.
is because Shanicia is doing, like, I don't know if we should put who's responsible for these.
We should.
We should.
We should just put it out beside it. Like who's doing what? Like who's doing the YouTube? Who's doing the Instagram? Who's doing? So we kind of know.
At least, like, who's responsible for
Yeah,
the
but-
measuring.
But I will tell you, Kathy and Comrade have been the one that's actually been putting.
No,
The
they
last
take
week.
it. They take it from the report form
Yes.
and put it
Oh,
onto
they
here.
do.
They're
Oh, they
not
do.
finding the numbers.
Oh,
No.
gotcha.
Exactly.
So
That's why.
putting there who's responsible for finding the numbers.
So my question is, if it's on the report form, and Kathy's the last person to see the report form per se before a meeting, maybe possibly, or do we need to find somebody else to go through the report form, a different person to go through and get those numbers so we can.
Kathy's been doing fine with the report form. I'm talking about who's finding the numbers before Kathy.
Yeah.
I will find the numbers if anybody has a problem.
Okay, nobody has a problem, Mom.
Okay.
But thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You ready to listen?
Who?
Diana.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm not sure I comprehend, but okay.
so, for instance, Shanicia, the way we are finding them weekly, Shanicia finds the things for YouTube, and Giselle finds for Facebook and Instagram. So if we're doing that weekly and it's been working, the way for us to do it quarterly is to ask Shanicia to go back a quarter and tell us what the number is on the report form before our quarterly meeting,
Yes.
so that Kathy has it before, so that when the quarterly shows up, it's there. And same thing with Giselle. Before the quarterly meeting, she could let us go back a quarter and tell us what that is on the weekly report form.
So what do you see that needs to happen for us to do that?
So, that's a great question. I think we need to communicate with Giselle and Shanicia, and whoever's responsible for measuring these, communicates, number one, that that's a responsibility for them to do, and number two, they need somehow be a reminder when the quarterly meeting's coming up that we need that on the report form, because Giselle's not here, Shanicia's not here, and Nikki is not here.
Exactly.
So how are they going to remember before the quarterly meeting that they need to go back a quarter, not a week?
I agree.
And that would be the same for the month too.
So what do you think needs to happen there?
What do you recommend, Kathy? Or anyone?
Communicating to them that one thing before it's due, letting them know when the weekly and the monthly and the quarterly is, and communicating to them, this is what we need. We need what it was and what it is, so we have the difference.
So who would be able? Would you be able to communicate with them in advance before the monthly and quarterly meetings?
If that's, what you want, I can easily do that. That's
So,
not a problem.
Kathy,
If it's
let me
easy for
ask you,
you.
when you're reading the reports, does it, when you're looking at that spreadsheet, it's on a spreadsheet, right? When the reports come in, it's on a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, they're weekly report forms.
It's on a spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the spreadsheet, could you not have a line where
Oh,
you
let's
see where the
Hold on.
first date of that quarter starts and the last day of that quarter? So you could just transfer that information of what it was at the beginning of the quarter and at the end of the quarter, and so it could be put onto the report? Would that not be easier? Because you just take it right off the spreadsheet?
Actually, that would work perfectly. That would work very good. She can look at the date and she'll be able to find it quickly. The only that wouldn't
What would
work
make
for
it hard to do that?
well this meeting here, because we haven't been doing it for a quarter. That would make it hard. But
Right, I know, she
for
has to
next
start with what we
quarter,
have right
next
now.
next
Right.
month,
I agree, not to go back. No, don't go back and be real Pilgrim. That would be too much drastic. But what about on there from here on out? Because
That's a
you
good
said they're
point.
putting those numbers on there, right? Are they
Yeah,
putting those on?
I'm the one that's doing it. I
Okay.
have them on all my sheets
No,
of
you're good.
paper.
No, that's great. That's
no,
good.
Shanicia and Nikki, they're the ones doing
Yeah,
it.
them. Are
We're
they
talking
putting it
about
on?
what they're doing, not you.
Yeah,
Are they putting those on the report?
They are.
they're the ones that are putting the weekly ones on the report
Okay,
forms.
okay.
The report forms.
So then all we would have to do is draw a
doing
line maybe
that?
on your piece of paper of the
Right.
beginning of your report, of the beginning of the quarter, and say what we were at like today, or today we're at 400 right now, or whatever. And so then use that as your base to start with. And then so at the end of the quarter, you would just report from what we started with, which was the 400, and whatever it grew for the next 3 months for the next quarter, and just put it on there. And so we have
Wow.
the plus 400 plus blah blah, just like we do on our weekly. Same way you've been doing it. You've been doing a great job.
I'm so glad we're working together.
And then so then at the but today what we need to discuss is where we would like. Well, I'm not sure we could come up with a number because we don't know how much we really grew from the
We
beginning.
can still set a number
We can set a
and
number, okay.
and then reevaluate.
Okay, that would be great. And then we could say we went above it or below it, and that's
Yeah.
great. So if we could just throw some numbers out here on the side of it, like on number one, D, number one, we could put out beside in parentheses where we'd like it to be. We're at 400 right now. Why don't we just say, let's try to double them and just see what happens. And at least will give us a target. It might not be a reachable target, it might be over a target, but at least we have something on the paper. Can we do that? So
I
Connor,
think
you'd have to
that's-
update it like right now. So are we okay with that, first of all?
I'm okay with 400. And if
Okay.
you need more help with that, I could explain it later too.
So
But that would actually be easy. I think you could do
comment
it
on
well.
D
Who's keeping
D1.
track? Nikki and who?
or
I'll
Tina.
type it on there.
Nikki,
Who's our scribe? Hi, Rebecca.
Rebecca,
Who's our scribe?
Mom, I'm gonna type it on here.
gonna
Thank
type it.
you.
Awesome. Okay, we got it. Thank you, brother Enoch.
Where you type?
Oh, look at that.
Under D.
D. He's doing it. Shanicia. And then 400, and then praise the
Giselle.
Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay. So we have a whole new section that's going to be able to recognize how we're growing in the ministry. Praise the Lord. This is good news, guys. Okay.
So
Now,
in the quarter, though, we do know that we've gone from 6 members to 9 members
praise the Lord.
in this quarter.
So out beside, oh,
That's
good,
good
he's
to know.
doing that.
Thank
Look
you.
at that. Praise the Lord. So 500 to 1,000, and then wow. At least it gives us something to work towards, man. I love this. This is really good. This is great, guys.
How come we have different people doing the analytics of how many subscribers there are?
Because different people are responsible for different social media platforms.
Isn't
This
that
is
neat?
amazing,
Not
guys.
one person's responsible for all of them. Different people.
No, but just to gather the subscribers. That's not
So
hard.
why can't we go from
Because
6?
it's a different platform. Not everybody uses Facebook. The analytics of Facebook is drastically different than the analytics of YouTube and the analytics of Instagram. The more familiar you are with that platform, you'll understand what the analytics are talking about. But if you don't know how the platform works, you read the numbers and the terminology and you don't understand what that stuff means. So it's better for the people who are managing the YouTube channel to measure their own numbers. Or someone
True.
from
It makes
that
it
team.
easier for them than somebody that doesn't know to have to go and get. But that probably will change down the road too. Though I know what you're talking about, Deborah. But for now, just for the sake of progress, well, I think we're going to do that, but I see what you're saying, definitely, for down the road. I see what you're saying. So HR can actually just look at it.
I have something where we could do that.
Praise the Lord.
Right there.
Oh,
And it
praise the
shows
Lord.
everything that we're in. Pinterest and
Praise the Lord. Well, can we make an appointment to look at that? Because that's something we need to look at.
everything.
That we can maybe address at the next meeting. Let's put that on maybe one of the things to do. Thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. Nice job, Deborah. Okay, so on number 4, the 6 out of 9. What if we just doubled the 6? So that would be 12 that we want to have by the next quarter. To double the 6. So it went to 9, but maybe it looks like we're averaging maybe 3. So why don't we do that to turn it to 12? What do you think about that? You know?
I'm
Okay, gotcha.
begging Tina to join us.
Did you get her message? Comment on the cord request.
I think got 12. Does everybody think that would be a good measurable key result? If we had 6 and now we're up to 9 of the members from Direction from God. So for the next quarter for us to double the 6 to turn it to 12 people instead, do you guys think that that's a fair number to try to come up with by the next quarter? Or do you think it should be higher?
I think it should be higher. I think
Okay.
it should be 15.
15? What do you think, Deborah? 15?
To make what? Higher?
Our Direction from God subscribers. What do you think we would like our goal to be by the end of next quarter?
I think 12 is good.
You
We're,
think-
we're not going
so
really
that's
fast
3?
on that. Oh,
Okay.
but then I got somebody working on the ads and
Okay, so let's shoot for
website.
15 then.
Yeah,
Perfect,
Maybe
perfect.
maybe we can get that
I think we
done.
can. I think those are a good number. Is everybody in agreement with the 15?
Instead of
Okay.
1 a month, let's try for 2 a month.
Okay, sounds good. Progress. I like this.
Wow.
This is nice.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry guys, we have to jump down to number 4A just because we are now at 10:19. Step 4A. At least we made progress in the area. It might not be all the progress.
Tina is here, ready to take notes. But
Sheena.
before we jump down,
Okay.
we need to communicate. Tina, can you unmute yourself and hear us? Okay, thank you. Kamran, can you turn her up because we can't hear her?
Try again, Tina.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes, a lot better. Okay, so Tina, we are on step 3D, and on here we have the person who's responsible to get the number, and we have how many subscribers they have out of the goal that we want. So we need to update this.
On the template?
Yes, we need to update it on the templates, and also I've been leaving some comments for you on this page so you could read to update as well.
Yeah. I already went through them.
Okay, that's very helpful, thank you. So, can you repeat what are the things that we're missing that we need from this measurable key results?
Sorry, I don't exactly know what you mean.
Okay, that's good, because you won't be able to do it if you don't understand. So what we've discussed is that there's 4 things that we need on this measurable key results. Number 1, who. Number 2 is who is responsible, and number 2 is for what number are we measuring, and what are we measuring this quarter, and number 3 is where did we start a quarter ago, and number 4 is what is our goal for next quarter 3 months from now. That's the same thing that we have on the weekly. We have where are we this week, where were we last week, how much have we grown since last week, and then what is our goal for next week. We have that for or actually for the month. We have that for our weekly, we just need to reflect that on our monthly and quarterly. And annually as well. But we have who's responsible. We don't have who's responsible on the weekly template, but that's where we realize we need that
You mean underneath
communication.
the measurable key results?
Yes, measurable key
Like,
results.
like out of, and then the number. And then but just
Yeah, look at Nikki. Nikki's probably the best one. You see Nikki, and you see that we have 22 plus something, or
it's
minus something.
233 plus
Yeah.
2 new ones.
Sorry, 233 plus 2 new ones. That shouldn't be 2 from last week. That should be however many it was a quarter ago. But that template should be there to see how much we've grown. And then it's out of what number do we want to be 3 months from now. But every planning session, whether it's a weekly debriefing, monthly meeting, quarterly meeting, annual meeting, they should all have the same format. Who's responsible? What number are we now? What number were we a week, a month, a quarter ago? And then out of how many do we want to be in a month or a quarter or a year, depending on what meeting template it is.
So the +2 is like how much we.
The last 2 that we got the week before, from the week before.
But
No,
what-
it's not the week. This is the time the time frame before.
Right, so it'd be quarterly, what we were the quarter before. So it'd be the number now plus the quarter that, how many we gained in that quarter.
Really the difference from the last time frame, whether it's plus or minus,
Right.
but most likely it's going to be gaining. We're not growing, we're dying.
So that's how it should look. The Nikki and then like the number.
Yep.
Number and then the plus and then another number and then the email subscribers.
This looks good.
And then like out of this.
Well,
Yeah.
and as long as the people know to do it by the quarter, because this is the quarter meeting.
I can try. I
Okay.
can try putting that on the template.
You what?
I can try and put that on the template.
Appreciate your help. But please represent like how do I say, what is there, like reference the weekly template, because these templates have not been updated even though you update the weekly one.
Yeah, I know. I looked at the weekly.
Oh, awesome, you're on top of things. Thank you, Tina. I really appreciate you being here. That was a summary of what we discussed, which is pertinent for the scribe. So, do you have any last questions before we move on?
So I'm just gonna do this for all of the templates.
Yes, but we're not going to do out of question mark. It's whatever the goal is for that section is. We
I
would-
know, but if I don't know the goal?
Then, well, you know what the goal is for every year, right?
No.
Okay. What I would do is I would just challenge. If I were you, I would challenge myself to try to remember or recall if there is a meeting or a weekly template that tells us what the goal is, or look at the annual aim, look at the quarterly quest, and see if there's a measurable number there, then we'll use that measure. If there's not, then skip it. And just put question marks like you have it. And that tells us we need to set a goal.
Yeah.
Does that make
That's
sense?
I sent you guys a picture of how much we have right now, the difference.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. What was
Maybe
that,
we
Tina?
can make a goal.
I can try.
Okay.
Maybe we can make a goal for next quarter.
If you have questions, you could. We do want to do that, Mom. That sounds great. In step 4, if you have questions, you can ask. Send me a text or something. Are there any other last questions before we move on to step 4?
No.
Okay. Cool.
Welcome back, Tina. Okay, so we are at step 4A. Visualize 3 to 5 possible quarterly quests for the next quarter that will help advance the annual aims for the current year. And we don't have our current annual aims here, I don't think. I mean, our annual aims, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're there.
Oh, are they? Okay. Is it way at the top?
No, it's right here. It's a
The
checkbox.
toggle right there.
The toggle. Yeah, you got it.
Sorry. And you know what? You're right. And I saw that last night when I went through it. So I thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Yes, there we go. So here are our 5 annual aims. We're gonna have to just read through them, and then let's. Can I just read through them all, and then let's pull out the ones that we look in the back of our head what really needs to be addressed, so we can move forward with 3 of these. Because we have to choose 3 out of these 5, which we really want to focus on. Is that correct? Anybody say different? Okay. So the annual aims is for Cameron to lead the ministry to implement the 3 books in the Secrets trilogy, and then Tina to lead the ministry to optimize the marketing funnel from the Direction from God Value Ladder, and Enoch for the squads, 1,000 gospel workers, and Rebecca the leaves of autumn to sew the 100 pieces, and then Diana to do the onboarding volunteer system as measured. So looking at these 5, which one is going to move the ministry forward faster to our annual goal? Which one needs to be growing? Which one are we in that's hindering? So we can brainstorm on those 3 different ones that we need to move forward with.
So we're looking. You're saying which 3 to 5?
Well, we have 3 to 5. We have 5. These are the 5 annual ones.
Yeah, 5 annual.
So
and we're looking for 3 to 5 quarterly
ones that we want to really focus on right now. Yeah, that we can really decide what needs to move forward to move the ministry forward to our annual goal. Which one is really the next step that really has to take place to really grow us? Is it content, or is it Secrets trilogy, or is it
do you think it would be good to identify like one thing
out of each one
per,
of these?
yeah, each one
We
of
can do
these?
that. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Okay, let's look at on the growing the squads. How about 3 things? Can we say 3 things that would really make it move forward to the goal?
I think we could.
Or okay. So what's
Maybe.
3 things that we can look at on the squads that we can do to make the squads grow faster? What are we?
Invite.
Huh?
Invite.
Invite.
I think
I think
one.
people slacking.
You're funny, Mom. I think personally that helping people with the intentional week. Tina, are you typing under the stepping stones under the annual aim?
That's what the stepping stones are for?
Yeah, that's what the stepping stones are for.
Another toggle.
Okay, yeah, that's not what it's for.
How's that mean?
Okay.
Cool. So you can see on there one of the things, and it's already number 1 I added today, is that I think finding multiple trainers for the evangelism training, group coaching that we do on Tuesday morning, I think having multiple trainers will help. It'll get a new perspective, and possibly finding a similar format where it's like, hey, what's been going well, testimonies, and what's your challenge, and if someone's experienced with the squads, they can kind of go through. I think that would be something that would help.
Idea.
And then, yes, thank you,
Although
Tina.
everybody loves you.
Well, I mean, we may even be able to have 2 of them simultaneous, like a second one in the evening for people who work, that they could attend something like that and get live training, or
That's
like
good.
maybe something with a lieutenant or with a captain or captain or whatever rank, where someone with experience can go through and kind of like share what they know.
That's good.
That's on my radar. And another thing, I think helping people with the intentional week could help, like the time blocking, which is something I'm trying to do. Integrating.
Where's that written down?
It's actually not. That's not on there.
Okay.
That's something that I'm trying to do right now, is help people with their intentional week. But I think connected with that, and sorry Tina, just jumping around. But number 3, if you look at number 3 under the stepping stone, it says cascading communication. I think having the partners fill out the form, the field report form together on Discord, has been part of cascading communication, and it's been tremendous. But I think even better, making sure that like lieutenants, like myself, Giselle, Mom and Tina, like joining the field report form for the other groups that we influence or work with, they will gain more clarity I think that would be another form of cascading communication that would help.
What if you make it even faster? Because when you think about all the people, the tasks that they're doing, that could be a lot of another meetings. What if the lieutenant goes through their personal field report of their people, of their group, and see what is the hang up in their area so that they can actually address that by having a teaching class, or if you see that it's happening in all the different lieutenants that have the same struggles in their group, you guys should have a field report that you guys do so that the ministry can look at and say, listen, this whole group over here is struggling with invites.
Yeah.
You know, this whole team over here, so we know that we need to have a meeting on inviting. This is something we really have to get a hold of because we're seeing it, because the field report is really how we decide how the ministry is growing or not growing.
Yeah,
So
so
if the
then
lieutenants had a report, it would be good.
what if, as lieutenants, we use the same report, but we just schedule a time where we do it, that we could write down, and instead of saying squad, we'll just put our word platoon there. So with our platoon, we'll do it that way.
That would
I
be
think
good,
that's a great suggestion.
Because if we're going to reach that 1,000, we're going to have to, as we're growing, it's going to grow the same way we're
Yeah.
growing. So we're going to be getting rid of some things that are not working and going for things that work.
I
But
completely
the
agree.
reports really make things grow.
And I think when we have more lieutenants, having a separate one with specific questions for lieutenants would be good. I don't know if that's necessary quite yet because there's
Okay.
2 of us.
Sure.
But I think you're right. Tina and I stopped filling out the report form, the field report, and I have noticed that has made a communication break, that there's things that we need to communicate. So that's good. I think
Okay.
that's awesome.
Okay.
That
Do we
is
have that
awesome.
on there, Tina? Lieutenants need field reports?
That's going to be huge.
Okay.
And yeah, she's got it. That's 3.3. Another thing
And
that
that would also help us to be able to, at the quarterly meetings, to see where the progress has really grown in the ministry and where
Because
it's
it's an
really,
overview.
yeah, it's a really good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that suggestion. Another thing that I think that we could do to help is to set clear expectations in the beginning, paint the picture of what it looks like when people are ready to split, because I think people have some really drastically different expectations of when something is ready to split or when it's not. Like Giselle has been over and abundantly ready to split for a while, but she's thinking that she's going to continue to work for weeks, and it's like, no, you've been ready to split a while ago. Same thing with Tina's group, they've been ready to split a while ago. And so I think we need to, or Kalo and Susie, they had another thing where Kalo's like, well, I'm not really ready, but then it's like, no, you've been ready to split a while ago, you need to split. So her and Giselle did, and then their group grew, and they've been ready too. And so people
And that's
think they're going to
with
go
our
on for
little
months.
group. We've been ready to split for I don't know how many times, but then as our new leader is on there too, it's not Fletcher, but it's caused it to, I don't know if the lack of communication by now, because I even asked her last night, it's like, are you, but she didn't hear me, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, my communication was not good because I didn't send her a text. I should have sent her a text.
Yeah.
I think I did. I have to go back and check because I think I did on Discord. It's like, did you invite, I have to go back and look, but I need to be able to document that. So,
Which brings me to another thing that we're going to have much more specific or very clearly defined expectations for what, communication expectations for a squad leader. If you're going to be a squad leader, these are the communication expectations, because we can't have the assistant limiting the growth of the squad. If they're in a season of life that they can't lead, or maybe they thought that leading was different than what it is and they got a better understanding, we need to be able to put people in that position that are going to be committed and fulfill the roles.
So one of the things as being a leader, we need to ask them, are you willing to lead a flock? Because that flock seems to resonate with your mom and with Sherry and with me.
And
that
me.
changes my mindset. It's like, oh, I have
Our
respons-
beautiful flock.
Yeah, you said beautiful. I remember that. Thank you.
Because Jeremiah says it.
Yeah, I love it. And that really makes a difference in your mindset. You're not just leading out a Bible study. You actually are now,
Shepherding a
Shepherd.
flock. You are a shepherd.
and the Bible deals with shepherds.
Nice.
So you
And there's a
have
lot of
some-
counsel you can get on how to be a
Yes,
squad
you
leader.
can. So, and that changes it from just like, oh, I'm showing up, I did my job, I gotta go, leave me alone. Because a lot of people said, oh, I didn't know, it didn't tell that much. But right now,
That's true.
Okay, he thinks in his head, well, I can't really commit because he's seeing it as a workless thing. But when he would make a great shepherd,
He would.
he'd make one of the best shepherds.
Yeah.
So once we can get his
Amazing.
mindset to look at like, hey, can you shepherd instead of leading them? doing all these checklists and all
Yeah.
the do's and don'ts and have to call and do all these follow-ups. Could you just shepherd 10 people?
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm on it.
Yeah, what Christian does not want to shepherd 10 people?
Yeah. So I think that's going to change everything,
Yeah.
the way we read whatever, however you choose.
Yeah, how we word things
Yeah.
in our...
To
Yeah.
update that. Maybe we should just update. Maybe that could be one of the things we could put on here is maybe update the process to change it to flock. Maybe that needs to be a suggestion, is changing it to flock.
As like part of the setting the clear expectations in the beginning.
Yeah. That. Thank you.
And I think that like along that lines too is doing more training or having a system or having more support to help people to understand the process of bringing someone from like I don't know, like having questions to overcoming objections to like helping them to enlist, because I think going from attending to enlisting is like that's a skill that we need to understand is enlisting. It's a skill that all of us need to develop. And that's kind of what we talked about yesterday, is that it is a limiting belief that causes people to not to enlist. All the behavior of enlisting is because of a belief. So when you learn how to change beliefs, then it'll help people to enlist more. And just as a foundational skill for all squad leaders to be trained in, it's
Yeah.
like this is how to share the enlist. This is how you bring it up, how you share it, how you handle certain questions.
And we should be looking at the field report of how many people that their team is growing, so we know that they're doing that. Because if they're just as growing, we know that they're doing something, so
Yeah.
we can learn from what they're doing and apply it, those principles. But I agree with you. Just like just that little flock thing that she sent me, that has changed my viewpoint of how before I was just doing a checklist, thinking, okay, I did this, did this, did
Yeah.
this, did this, and now
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
not
oh, my
about-
little flock. It's like, oh well, dude, I need to get more involved. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's our number?
That's
And
right.
I want to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
papers of like what they said, who
Yeah,
they said, and
that's
what.
exactly right.
I want to be
What's going on
involved.
in their life?
Yeah, I
And
wanna
what are
help
their
them.
testimonies? How can I help them? How can I serve? How can I solve problems?
How can I
bring
send them
them
a
to
link?
Christ?
How can I share stuff?
Exactly.
Yes.
It totally changes.
changes everything.
So I think another thing that will help is
And that will help me with even Angela to be able to reach out to her and say, these are your flock. What are you doing to grow your flock? Because when she helps other people, she herself will grow.
yes.
If she's been active.
And if there's a miss in the pulpit, there'll be a fog in the pew. So if it's
Yeah.
unclear for the squad leader, it's going to be really unclear for the assistant.
Oh, totally. I
They
don't feel
won't
like
make
I'm
the
going to help her. I'm gonna be like, did you get your checklist out?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
That's right.
yeah, so no, yeah, oh, that's not good. Okay, so at least Diana's growing. We've been bad, Diana's growing now.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I think those will help.
okay, so let's move on to the second one because I think that we got some really good stuff there. We can always bounce back and forth, remember.
I think I got work for the quarter. This is
Okay.
clarity.
Okay, good.
I'm happy.
Okay, Mr. Kamran, here we go. Are you ready right now, or do you want me to come back to you? Brother? We have Will Lead the Ministry to implement 3 books. What does that? He might already put stuff on there. Let me check and see. Kamran, let me look.
Yeah, no comedy like they did.
Okay, right here. Things to do. Traffic secrets, expert secrets, .com secrets, all secret sketches, roles identified, secrets being implemented in the ministry. That's a lot of stuff right there. Do you see anything, which one of these 3 do you think that we can go forward with for this quarter? What do you see is like what really needs priority wise? Do you have them listed like 1 as being the highest there and 2 being the second highest? How do we have these set up? Or are they just 1, 2, 3? I like the fact that people can open that up and put their stuff there. It's
Isn't
pretty-
that awesome?
I think it's wonderful.
Oh,
I really like this. It's just, and anybody can come back and look at it and not have to read and find, just go it's right there.
I really like it too.
I'm just curious because Brother Kamran's on a different page than I'm on, and so I'm thinking somehow he's on 2A, and mine
Right.
shows Kamran's list as number 2, but under
What date are you
4A.
on?
Thought I came in on the right
We're
date.
on step 4,
324, 21. Okay,
4,
step 4. That's what I thought.
and then we're under number 2.
Sir
Come
Tom.
on. Yes.
He's just looking up them up at the top. But
Okay.
if you go, but like I think you're on the
Okay.
right spot,
Okay.
Sister Cabby.
Thank you. I think
I wish it worked like that. Come on. Just go down to step 4, brother. 4A. And go to annual aim toggle.
Oh, did I mess it up?
No, you're doing good, Diana. You're in the right place. And use
Now
that.
he's got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
That looks like what I have. Okay, good.
We're getting there. This is exciting.
I'm excited too.
All sketches.
Thanks, Kathy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at there. Oh, wow. This is nice. I love how his mind thinks. It's so cool. Okay. So traffic secrets are rules identifying all secret sketch. Woo, that's pretty big. But we got a quarter. I bet he can do it.
I think we should move on to someone who will be responsive.
And then I'm glad he's adding to that. So just keep adding to that as you think of that, and then we can go down to Tina. Look, it's going to be you, sister.
Wait, can we do Rebecca while she's available?
Rebecca, let's do you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
before she
Yes,
has to leave.
absolutely, Rebecca. Here we go. I think she's ready.
Praise the
Yeah.
Lord. Good to hear your voice, sister.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
Good to hear you too.
So the question is, what do you see that we can do within a quarter? Like, let's say that 3 months from now, you're looking back at today, and you're standing 3 months in the future, and you're saying, what made this quarter, a success in reaching these pieces of content? What outcomes do you want to see accomplished?
Probably rhythmic, a rhythm for workathons.
Oh, the workathons? Oh,
Turn it
this
a
is
little
good.
bit up. Having a what for the workathons?
Yeah, sorry?
You said having something for workathons, but I didn't hear what.
Rhythm.
Oh, rhythm. Yes.
Rhythm. Oh, yes. Rhythm for workathons.
So when you say
Nice.
rhythm, what do you mean by that?
What does that look like? Yeah.
There was
Like, we know which, like themes for each one,
Oh, the
or we know what we're
themes.
going to do
Okay.
each time we come together.
Oh, okay.
good. So
Themes for the workathon.
Tina,
Okay.
did you write that?
I got the first one. We know the themes for each workathon, and what was the second one?
Oh, what we're gonna do? I see it now. The theme is what we're gonna do. It's the same thing repeated a little differently. It's not two different things.
Nice
Okay,
job.
okay.
But also, okay, what else would it look like to be successful with this? What would be a stepping stone for this quarter?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
What if we would have every single person do a certain amount every week? Oh, Rebecca just disappeared.
You're scaring her away. The internet does that.
We knew our time was limited.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry.
She'll come back. There she is. See what I said.
Tina had a suggestion, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Tina.
I was just saying, have like everybody doing a certain amount a week. Like, yes, I guess everyone has a measurable key result.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Do you feel like this could be put onto the report form, the weekly report form?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, this is good. That's good. Nice job, Rebecca. Can you think of one more thing?
One more thing.
How many pieces of content would you like to publish a day by 3 months from now?
Let's see.
Last quarter, our goal was
20?
last quarter our goal was 20 a day, and we're at 3 a day right now.
Okay, 20 will be good because I'm not sure if Kim is counting stories also, but
Oh, yeah, we
I'll have
might
to
be more
talk
than
to her
that.
about that.
Nice.
That's good. So,
Oh, there's one other thing to to keep track of the amount of content we are producing weekly, monthly, and at the end of this quarter.
That's so true. You know, I just thought that there are some people who do the stories a little more than others. We might be able to assign someone a simple responsibility of counting how many stories are posted in a week.
Yeah.
And
I want to ask him to help me with Italian because she uses Buffer more than me.
but the thing is, it's not always Buffer that's responsible for everything. Buffer does
Yeah.
Buffer only does like two things. They post the quote cards, but that doesn't count for the podcast. We should actually probably communicate to everyone who schedules that like someone on each team should be responsible for the different formats or the different types of content that is published and report it on the report form. That would help tremendously. If like maybe you and I could like write a list rather than having Kim count up all the content, we should have the people who are scheduling keep track of the content they publish and then report it on the report form. That would make a lot more sense. It'd be way more accurate. And it would train their brain to be responsible for a certain number of pieces too.
So Tina, what that looks like is a report form would have to be created so that each person that is posting content or doing the content will have a record of what they've done that week. So that we have to create this
and
one.
what they intend to do next week, the MQM.
Yes. I think we need to, communicate that to people like Shanicia, because she's very vague. And Rebecca, I think you should be responsible for counting up the pieces of content from the report form and making sure those people publish it on the report form weekly.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, nice job, Rebecca. This is cool. This is awesome. And you have access to that report, is that correct? The weekend report. Nice job. Perfect. Great. Because we're going to start taking, you'll see above it, we're going to be taking, you've been listening, we're going to be taking these numbers to make sure we reach to a higher level. Nice job, Rebecca. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tina. This is amazing.
I think that alone will be a big difference.
Wow. It's that's progress. Woohoo!
So we might actually be doing more than 3 a day. That's cool.
Can you believe this? Isn't this exciting?
This is
And
exciting.
it gives clarity of what they're going to be doing. So praise God.
It really
Praise
does.
the Lord. Anything else that you see, Rebecca, that we can move forward with that? Is there anything that's... Okay.
No.
Okay. Then that's a good start right there. Thank you, sister.
Well, I think also we need to find a way. We can expect that some people like Musa and Deborah, who are in Pakistan, they will not attend our workathon that's in the middle of the workday or in the middle of the night for them. So we need some sort of way, either like another workathon or a different way to involve people whose schedule doesn't work at 12 o'clock on Tuesday. We need to solve that problem. We should probably put that down on it as a stepping stone, because if we can't engage that whole segment of people willing hands, then we're going to be greatly hindered.
Okay. Tina's getting that. Nice job. Okay, yes, I agree. Find a way for people who are different in time zone. Okay. Nice. Good
Can you
job.
give an example like Musa and Leah and Deborah?
Nice. Thank you, Tina. Rebecca, thank you. I think we're going to find one. We'll pray and the Lord will show us exactly how to reach them and make sure that they're involved in working. Praise God. This is awesome. Okay. Lord, just show us how to involve them. Okay.
Tina, you wanna remember the format. Who does what? So we wanna think of who is responsible too. We don't want to just list out this stuff. That adds a lot of clarity.
Okay, so we're going to put names outside. Okay, nice. Okay. That does make it go a lot faster. So thank you.
And it allows us
Yes,
to
it does.
have a single individual responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, everyone thinks like, yeah, someone's going to do that.
Yes.
And it doesn't happen.
Doesn't get done. Okay. Nice job. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Tina, what is 9.1 talking about?
Rebecca.
Oh, I didn't quite finish it.
Oh, okay. So why didn't you tell us to stop? Because we're going too fast.
I don't know. I guess because it always happens.
Do you? Well, then, the most important thing that we have at the end of this are the notes that you take. If your notes are mistaken, then our conversation is more than wasted if we don't have the notes to show for it. So, do you feel uncomfortable interrupting us to tell us to stop, or like, hey, hold on, let me take notes, or to ask like who's going to be responsible for that? Because that's a responsibility of the scribe, and we don't really know unless you stop us.
As you're thinking of that, Tina, I was thinking it's good for us to recap whenever somebody has a dialogue when they're brainstorming like that, to recap on the final statement, so it's easier to scribe it out if we put it into just a basic sentence. Because a lot of times that's the issue, is when we're talking so much information, we have paragraphs. So maybe we need to recap at the end of each one of those decisions, so it's easier to write them down.
And a lot of scribes, that's right, I completely agree. A lot of scribes, when they're doing the meetings, they'll vocalize what they think they heard, just to make sure that it's like written accurately, as far as accurate to the thought or suggestion or decision.
Yeah. So okay, that sounds good. So I can work at that too, Tina. I try to do it a little bit, so if I do see it, I do try to call it out. So thank you. We just missed that one. But you're doing a great job. You've been doing it on most of all of them, so thank you.
You are doing very good. We're really appreciative to have you.
Okay, I like how you're going back and put names on those and that, and the rhythm for them. So we can put, Rebecca's going to find the rhythm for the workathon. And does she need to work with somebody to find that rhythm, or what do you, number 6? I'm sorry.
Yeah, number 6. Let's ask her. She just got here.
Rebecca, who do you want to work with to help find that rhythm?
For number 6.
For the workathon, number 6. Or you can just do it by
I'm not
yourself.
sure.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Who could you reach out to, though? I mean, if you needed, if you were struggling with that, who would you feel comfortable reaching out with to help you kind of help set that rhythm?
Kim
Okay. Gotcha.
or
Tina also usually has a really good pulse on what's going on with the live cast, the content, where
Yeah.
things are.
Yeah.
I think Tina is a lot more involved with the live cast stuff than probably Kim is.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Right. I don't know how easy Tina is to get a hold of them,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you at least have 2 people that you can work with. So that's perfect.
Mhm.
Nice.
Tina, we don't want to put like more than one person is responsible. There's only one person. They can work with others, but one person, it's an individual who's responsible for each thing.
Sorry, Tina, that was my mistake.
But you can put their names, just like Rebecca's going to work with these people.
So,
Does that make sense, Tina?
I believe so.
Okay. Because number 6 still isn't updated, or it's like maybe it's loading or something.
so she should put the word Tina and Kim at the end of it, maybe? At the end of the
No,
sentence?
I updated it. It's just not updated on his.
Oh,
I see, it's updated now.
gotcha.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Okay.
You're doing really good, Tina.
You're doing an excellent job. So we need to get to number 4 and number 5 because we are at 2 hours right now. And we're still not complete. We're kind of we're quite a ways out still, guys. So, but we did get a lot of clarity, which is okay, because progress is what we're looking for.
Yeah, we're looking for progress.
So, if nothing else, we did make progress because now we have some measurable key results for our Instagram and all the different ones, we have a way to start monitoring those, which is good.
Speaking of which, how do we want to measure for? Maybe we should measure gospel. Like, how many people are attending the squads by the end of the quarter? How many people do we want? We're at 60, 65 now.
Yeah, we do need that. Okay, let's do that. Where can we put that at?
Just on the stepping stones here
Stepping stones. Okay.
for number one.
For number one. Okay, so how many? We have 60 right now. So
Yeah.
I think in 3 quarters, why can't we try to at least double it? That would be 120. That's good.
I think we can at least do 120.
Okay, let's do that on the side there by 120.
Definitely, yeah.
Tina.
Definitely wouldn't get us to 1,000. We'd be 10%, and halfway of our time is used.
Yeah, and the momentum would grow faster. The snowball is always smaller at first, but it always gets huge and it consumes a lot more towards the end. So that's good.
Yeah.
So that's good. Progress is good. Okay. So we look at that. The snowball gets bigger. Okay, so let's jump into the one number 4 with Tina. Tina will lead the ministry to optimize the marketing funnel of the Direction from God Value Ladder. We have things to do as a drip system, free content, live your calling, daily account book, Direction from God course, program, and event. Okay, so what's the 3 things that we need to do in order to move forward on the marketing funnel? What 3 things can we add on here to make it move forward for this next quarter? Does anybody else have any ideas too besides Tina? Does anybody know what that should look like?
When is our next quarter?
June.
Oh, thank you.
As I say, 3 months.
No, I'll have the date in a second.
Okay,
It's June 23rd.
thank you.
Nice job, Kathy. Woohoo. She called that one right out. Okay. Does anybody else know what that looks like? And is it something that is this one of the 3 that we're going to choose for this quarter to really focus on? Is it something that has to be really focused on right now? The marketing funnels and the value ladder.
I think so.
Okay. Where do you see it needs to go, and what do you see that would look like?
Well, we need the drip system's really important, and so are the funnels.
Okay.
So those always.
So the
have
drip
to be worked
system
on.
and the funnels, and what does it look like what would it look like if it's up and going? What do we need to accomplish?
She does have it going, right?
Well, we're talking about optimizing the funnels.
So optimizing the funnels? Okay.
Yeah. So that could be. Well, we definitely want to put the champion of youth partnership program on there. And
And the emails, are those already straightened out?
no, it's still.
Is that
Working
something that's
on
ongoing too, or
We need to make progress on the emails.
Okay, make progress on the emails. Okay.
is there a specific part of the emails you want progress on right now?
Conran understands the emails more than I do.
Yeah,
So
I don't-
Yeah.
Conrad, can we assign that to you to kind of help figure out the emails on that?
He's already
Just-
working on it,
Oh, he
but
already is, okay.
this is the time to communicate what needs to be done.
But does Tina understand what she needs to do for the
Oh, as far as the account book goes, yeah, or the 4 secrets. Her and Conran worked together yesterday, and Tina got a lot of clarity. She's really
Oh,
grateful
that's
for
good.
Conran taking that time to help her.
then that'll help. That'll help
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Yeah, it will. That'll help for the program. And I know.
The Champion of Youth Partnership Program, who is the main person that's leading that out?
Great question, Tina. Thanks for stopping us. It's Conran is mostly spearheading that.
And what are we going to do with it?
We want it to. Well, we want to launch it. I don't know how the launching process works, but I do want to have an event for the partnership program. with Diana's help, by the in the fall.
Oh, well, that's later though, so that's not part of this.
Well, we need to plan and prepare for it. So you can say, Mom, you wanted to work with her with the event?
Isn't Diana the event manager?
Yes, we could do events, yeah. So we need to set a date or a time or what?
Yeah, you could put on there
And
too.
I don't mind
Di-
working with her. I
that's-
just wanted to.
That's
say
Diana's name, not mine, Tina. And I think you're doing good. Oh, you updated a bunch of stuff.
No, I deleted.
No, why'd you
Yeah.
delete all that stuff?
There wasn't a lot of stuff.
I didn't say a lot. I said all. But in the fall,
An event for partner, with the partnership?
yeah, for our partners. Prepare for an
Yeah,
event
But
for our partners.
to prepare for that event, we need to find them. We need to send them email. We need to figure out what event we're gonna have and how that's gonna, when it is and how that's gonna look.
We need to put
There's
that
a lot
down,
of
what you're
work.
saying right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do in that event.
So, yeah, when,
When, where, who,
where, who, and then, but you,
and the email will have to be set up for it.
and the email set up
Uh-huh.
for it, okay? So
And-
email needs to be set up for it, who, and
Yeah.
when, under, like you have it there, yeah.
Mhm.
When is it, where is it?
Who would do the email?
Don't you do the email?
No, I don't do that.
Oh, I thought that's what you do. Then Conran would, right? Well, we need to connect with them somehow. We need to figure out how to connect with them.
Okay,
Before
so we need
that
to
gets
brainstorm,
going.
that's what we need to do, is
Yeah.
brainstorm it. How's that? Just, that would be easier. Because we need to have a meeting on how to brainstorm what it looks like, so that could
Yeah.
be one of them.
Yeah, and then when we get this figured out, then we could like break it up into
Sure,
months,
Absolutely.
work our way up there.
Yes.
Because it's a big
So you have to have a meeting
event.
first to see who and
Yeah.
how it looks and put it together. Yes, I agree. Okay. Sorry, but we are going to have to move past that because we are running out of time. Unless there's something else really we need to add to that. Does anybody see anything else that's really a big one? That was a big thing right there. That's
Yeah, that was
that would
big.
move the ministry forward quite a bit. So that would cover a lot of ground right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5, optimize and
open
onboarding
doors.
volunteer. Oh, look at here. There's a whole list of things here. Can we procrastinate this on purpose?
All of it?
Do we need to address it because we're running out of time? Because it has a list of things that we can be working on. Because to help work towards the annual aim, have them working and engaging in the squad so that they are staying hot. I don't know, because we can only choose 3 out of all these 5 that we're really going to be focusing on, right? So we're choosing the most important ones right now. The onboarding, the people are usually getting plugged in. This last 2 weeks, no, because Diane hasn't a computer. But before then, we were making progress before the computer crashed.
I think our bottleneck is not with the onboarding part right now. It's with the leaders plugging in or integrating the new recruits after they've been onboarded.
Okay, getting them, and we said that how we could do that is once the team leaders have a workathon. The workathon is how we're going to get them plugged in.
I think you're right, because Susie's been doing workathons for the Bible readings, and when we find people are interested in Bible study and Bible reading, we're like, go join Saturday night, and people have been showing up. So there's like 4 people.
Because they're
on there.
interested.
Yeah.
People get interested. They attend things they're interested in.
Yeah.
And so when we have the leaders, so Tina, can we put down that we need to have? Okay, yeah, the new onboarders being put into
She has that, Mom?
Well, she just
into a
erased it.
workathon.
Oh, she just erased it.
Maybe to join a workathon. This is how they're gonna get really plugged in fast.
And that's something that you're responsible for?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
So we put Diana on
I
that.
remember Susie asking me like, what's the best way to like get people like. She was asking me, should I like train them one-on-one or should I just like work with them together? And I just told her to work with them together with the other people. That way they'll learn quicker than if you just do with them like by themselves.
Record a video so they have a standardized information of what to go through, and have them watch that before they join with the group, because they slow down the entire group. Or they can at least get a little bit down with the video, and then they can join the group and hit the ground running. Otherwise, she has to stop everything, start from the beginning, and repeat a lot of the same stuff and not make the progress that she otherwise would.
So let's put that on there.
Okay.
So put for Susie that she can get that video out to them for those workathons. And she can be in charge of making sure we have a video for those workathons, or getting them the information of that thing, so that when people do come to the workathon, they are prepared and just looking at what that department does.
We could really use a system interviewer, someone who could just get on and ask a lot of questions about the knowledge roller worker and extract a lot of their knowledge and find out, like, why do you do this? Where do you find this verse? Like, how do you come up with the questions? It's like, let's say I'm not very good at questions.
Well,
like,
then
what
I would
do?
be the one that'd have to do that, because I'm the one that doesn't know anything, and I'm the perfect person.
If you would be willing to do
I
that,
would love to do
it
that.
would
That'd
be
fun.
incredible.
So we need to schedule Diana to reach out to the team leaders,
Oh, wow. That'd be amazing.
and
That would make it 10 times easier for people who know how to do the work to do it, because I think their biggest issue with recording the video systems is knowing what to say. But if you just ask them questions, they're just responding to you, and they're training you how to do the role, and you're just listening for the new people's
Okay.
sakes.
and so let's say for the quarter one, that would be to have.
Wow.
How many do we have? 5.
That would be
Five-
amazing.
5 team leaders. Is that what we have right now? 5 team leaders.
I don't know. I have to count or look for them.
Well, let's just put 5. We don't have to worry one way or the other. I know we have at least 5.
That would be amazing, Diana.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. That would be fun, because I like asking questions.
Wow. That would be an answered prayer. I've been praying for that for like all 2020.
Perfect. That's what we need to do. Okay, so we got that. I think we did one time. Remember, long time ago.
I
it
think
was Susie
we
or
kind of
someone.
do one time. Mhm.
Okay, so let's do that. So that will be the measurable key result, to have 5 of them. So
I think
praise
this
the
is
Lord.
that
be
has
huge.
been the highlight of my week so far.
Praise the Lord.
I'm so hopeful with this.
Praise the Lord. Okay, so now we have to move on. Sorry guys, because we are truly past our time. Step 4B, prioritize and narrow down 3 to 5 current quarterly quests. So we need to narrow these down. Enoch will lead the squad leaders to grow their squad.
I got it.
Okay, and Diana, I want mine on there. I wanted to do this 5-team one. So that's my quarterly one that really needs to be on there.
That would be wonderful.
Okay, so that will be my goal, is to do the 5-team interviews. Okay.
Wow.
And then what other one is really big that we really have to address, put it on here? Which one is also going to move the ministry forward?
I think we need to grow the squads a lot. All of us.
He has the squads. He has that one on there. Good
Yeah.
job. And then,
We should practice.
so Tina, where are you putting those? Are you putting it under the 4? Yeah, she's probably putting it under a 3. 3 something, 3.5. No, 4.5. And that's a 4.5. Okay. Okay. What else? Anybody? Do we need to move those, Enoch, to step 4B?
For me,
Yeah, do we need to put it there, or or did we actually incorporate it at the top there?
I think
Because it should have the names by who does what already up at the top, so we probably don't need to do this, right? Because it's probably already done up here. Beside each one's name, we have Diana, doing what? Does that, or do we need to go back and put those on there? What do you think?
oh, what just happened? We need 3 to 5. Yeah, we should probably put it on 4B and make sure that we have them visible.
I think we need to get those ads going And
Mom, you were
What?
supposed to suggest that when we were talking about how to optimize the funnels, but that time has
sorry.
passed.
well,
That's
then
exactly what
optimize the funnels.
That's exactly where you put it.
Okay. Then optimize the funnels. We need to optimize the funnels.
So where do we want the ministry to grow this month? So we want the squads to grow, which is, we got that one. We got the onboarding, we really want that. That's going to make people plug in better. And what is the other one? The funneling? Is that the next one? Or what is the other big thing that's going to move the ministry forward? The funnels? Okay, so that would be our three right there. That would be our three major ones that we're choosing to move forward. We're moving our funnels forward, we're moving
Yes.
the onboarding forward with that, and then we're also moving the squads. So
The squads.
we chose our three.
Important.
Yeah. That's what's going to move the ministry forward.
All of them.
And then it's, yes.
What should be the new one?
What should be what? The what?
The final one, is that the one that I am supposed to be leading up?
Yeah.
What's like a measurable result that we can do? Or like,
Well, the funnels, they bring people in, right? And so they sell like the program, and they sell they find the the top 100 people. I forget what they're called. The dream team. They help find that. The funnels bring people to the squads. And so we can measure any of those things, like how many programs we sold, and how many squads we grew, and how many what are they called, Dream 100s we reached out to, stuff like that. Oh, and how many account books were sold.
Okay.
Mom, maybe we should put you on there.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because I'm not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff, but I'm supposed to be optimizing.
yeah, that's
So do we
That's-
want to, can we
that's-
put you on there, Deborah?
that's part of the optimizing, Tina.
I don't know.
Okay.
Optimizing. So you'd be working with Deborah probably. You'd be reaching out to Deborah
It's working with Tina, Deborah, and Conrad,
and Cameron. Yes.
and I, and Diana.
Yeah, that's good though. But at least we have it on there. That's what we want to do. We want the funnels up and running. So Tina will make sure that they're optimizing the funnels. How many funnels? 5 funnels? 5 different areas? 3 different areas?
5 funnels. I think it's a Direction of God program, the course, and the championship program in the account book.
That's 4. That's 4.
I said 4 or 5.
That's 4. I was counting as you did it.
Okay.
On the course,
That's good.
I didn't get all of it.
Course and then.
I mean, it's all
champion-
written under the annual aims. Those are the funnels.
So you just say we'll work with Deborah and her on the funnels, on the 5 funnels. I think you said there's 5, but I counted 4 when you said it. But 5. So that would be what you write. Is working on the 5 funnels, implementing the 5 funnels. Or
If you counted 4, then you're right.
okay, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think those are important there.
Okay.
We can move
good.
on, right?
We can move on. Okay, you got that type, Gina? Okay, you got it. Good go. Good go.
So they're under the stepping stones, Tina.
Oh, okay. So you just moved them over there. Okay. Okay.
I know, but I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to write down for like the.
Measurable.
Yeah, should I just write down like Enoch will work with? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. How
Enoch
do
will work with Tom and Deborah.
How do we measure
funnels.
the optimizing of the funnels? That's her question.
Yeah. How do we optimize it? Okay.
How do we measure
Measure.
the
How many of
optimizing?
them's complete?
Well, how do you measure complete?
I don't know.
That's the
I
question.
don't know what it
Is it
means to
by
optimize.
sales or?
We could measure by sales. We could measure by how many people join. We could measure by the conversion rate. We can measure by how many
Just the-
people sign up. We can measure by
Is optimizing an
probably sales
ongoing
would be
thing?
better. Sales would probably be one of the better things to optimize by.
Okay.
We could measure by dollar amount. Could be measured by people who purchase an account book or course or students, or we can
By
measure
sales.
by
How by sales? Well,
the sales of like the course program or the partnership.
all three of them, so at least we have something to work with. All four of them, maybe it was.
So should it be like dollar amount, or should it be like the number of people who
Just number
Sure.
of purchasers,
okay,
not how much,
we could
but by purchasing,
we
period.
could do that.
And then we can always later down, that can be another goal, is by breaking that even down. But we want them up and running first of all. So if we could just even get one,
Yeah, any sales is better than no sales.
yeah. So at least we know that the funnels are up and running. So then we can, the next quarter, we can focus on what needs to change.
Okay, we can do
Okay.
that.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll count any sale from any of the account books, the course, or hey, I think that's encouraging. I think that's good. That sounds really good.
As Mrs. Mayor, like, should we have a certain amount?
No.
Yeah.
No, just one, at least. just
Yeah,
any.
as measured by how many sales do we want to have by the end of the quarter? All of these are goals that we're setting out
Yes,
to
okay. Well, so we want to name how many we want to have in each one?
do. Well, not in each one. We could do total because we're talking about
Okay,
total.
So total sales, what would we say?
From all of our
5 for each
funnels.
one of them? So
Everything we
5,
got.
10, 15, 20? So maybe we should just say 20 just to,
I think we
Sales
sold more
rounded
than
off.
20 account books since we
okay.
started in the
well
last
then
quarter.
we'd have to at least.
I'm sorry.
How many account books would you say that we sold? About.
21.
So maybe we should at least
Okay.
double it. Maybe we should double that. But if we're going to have other funnels, I think it should be
So
higher.
that
if
would
we're
be
gonna have
like
other funnels.
50, because we got 10
So
here.
20,
I think we can aim
So
for
that would
50.
be-
I think 50.
Yeah.
Okay, 50. If we get more.
I hope we exceed 50, but we
I
can
hope
put
we get
50
100, but
for
hey.
put on there.
I like
Yeah.
Why don't we go just beyond what we
Let-
can do?
Let's do it. We don't know what we could do until we measure it. We have to measure what we have. We've never measured any of our sales before, so this will be
No,
the
we
first time we
haven't.
measure. And as we set it out, then we'll know what we've
measured
done.
ourselves.
When? Okay, how many courses did we sell?
Yeah, and,
So how many?
and we measure how many programs we get.
But we haven't measured our account books, and we haven't
No.
measured the donations that came
Okay,
in.
so.
So we haven't measured
should
total.
we say like 70 cells? And we won't say which one's departments in it yet, just 70 cells in
Yeah.
general? How about 70?
Let's do that.
Okay. with
That way we're like
that
stretching
higher?
ourselves.
Is that higher? Should we stretch higher or lower?
We have no point of reference, so
No
we
point
don't
of
know
reference. Oh,
if
okay.
50 is stretching us or 70 is stretching us. We
Okay, so
have
let's
no
start with
idea.
50 then.
We don't
Let's
know, Mom.
Let's start with
Right,
50.
50.
That'll be our base. How's that? It'll be a base. Okay, let's stretch to 50.
I
Maybe
think
more
this
than
is the
that.
best measurement that we've had since we started.
I think we're going to get a lot more because we
We
got
are.
an SEO.
I
No,
think
no,
with
no.
SEO, then
Ads.
we will learn. It's okay to
Yeah.
exceed our expectations.
We're gonna
God
get
loves to do that.
More. We're gonna get like 100, so that's good. So we can really celebrate.
And soon it'll be
Okay.
hundreds in a day.
Amen. See, there we
And
go.
then thousands baptized in a day.
Okay,
That's good.
what would prevent us from achieving our quarterly quest?
Our emotions, we're letting them go haywire, perceptions.
Distractions.
Lack of communication.
Yeah, communication. Communication, we definitely need to.
Communication keeps everything at a standstill.
We need to keep moving forward with implementing those 13 secrets. Should that be one of the quarterly quests too? So we don't lose sight on that?
Yeah, because people do revert back to bad habits.
Yeah, and we haven't finished implementing the 13.
Right. We need to
We just
definitely
read
do
the. We just listened to it as a group. Just because we listened to it doesn't mean we applied it.
Yeah.
But the value is in applying it.
applying it. So let's put that on there. Applying the secrets. Yeah. So we have actually
Who's
4.
supposed to be the
Yeah.
person that's helping the most with that, or like leading it out?
I think we
Um,
could just copy and paste the same quarterly quest that we had last month.
Okay.
I mean, last quarter. And that I could copy it from up above.
Could you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tina. Okay. So I'm glad we asked that question. So that was one thing that would hinder us is the lack of communication. So now we know to add that and to stay focused and now implementing it, not just sketching it, but implementing it. So perfect. Okay. So we're at step 6, organize a checklist of post-meeting actionable steps.
You guys are going to get busy.
I'm not sure that we have the time to, if we can procrastinate this section or not. Does it look like we can procrastinate this one for now?
Post actual steps.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's something for us to per se do. I think that's for her to.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha, yes it is, you're right. Okay, so, any unfinished business that somebody wants to address that's really, they're seeing it in their head, they're like, dude, we definitely need to address this. This is your chance to speak up, anybody?
It was June what? Oh, June 23rd, sorry.
No unfinished business, everybody addressed everything that they thought was pertinent that needs to move forward,
Um,
ministry?
I think one thing that needs to be on the horizon is what events we're going to attend in the summer, because summer is event season, and
We have to set them now, yeah, so we have to have a meeting this week.
Or
This-
soon,
this-
we'll
this
not
coming
NYC
week.
it,
Yeah,
but
this coming week.
soon.
Yeah.
Next week is our
Because
monthly.
it takes 2 to
Next
3.
Wednesday is our monthly meeting,
Okay.
though, too.
If we, it's our monthly. I
Yes.
think it would be well what we've done in the past at the beginning of years, or sometimes, is we looked at what are all the camp meetings and events that we could attend and prioritize. We go through an intentional planning process and just plan out our calendar for the, especially the
perfect.
summer. I think
That's
would be
perfect.
super productive,
Okay, so we need to look at that,
or a year or something.
okay?
We could probably do it during a team time at 8:15,
8:15, okay.
I put it on there already.
or at 9 on Wednesday
Okay.
in the morning if we want our brains to be more fresh.
Okay. Okay. Well, now we're coming to a close. We are 23 minutes over. We started 5 minutes late. Okay, so let's go ahead and end in prayer. Who would like to end in prayer for us?
I would.
Thank you, sister.
Dear Lord, thank you for letting us come together and to do your will and to do the work that you would have us to do. Please help us all to have the faith that we need to believe that we can accomplish the things that are set out before us. And when we need help, to be able to reach out to people to help us. Fill us with your Holy Spirit and help us remember to consecrate our days to you, so that we're not working by ourselves, but that we're working with you, Lord. We love you. Thank you for being our God, and we can't wait to be able to see the results of our work. And please prepare the hearts and the minds right now to receive it. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
And I want to say a special thanks to the Lord for allowing our meeting to be very successful and very, really, He was really helping us today. This was such a blessing.
Yes.
It was an encouragement to, I think, all of us. So I thank the Lord for that, for answering prayer.
Praise
So I
God.
was praying.
Yeah, God really blessed.
He really did. He really did. A lot of clarity.